Okay, hello. This is, call this episode 4 of Paranormal Incorporated. We have some wonderful guest investigators today, and actually, we'll all be using um, custom playbooks developed by um, Kavya and Eirinar, and I'll have them introduce their concepts in a minute. We're just going to go ahead and play out a mystery that we've done before on this series, but we're going to be taking this across the pond because we're going to say that Ronnie has worked out with her British cousin, with their British cousin, at Paranormal Incorporated office somewhere in London, somewhere nearby. We don't know. It's just going to be international. Okay. So we will be playing Phantom of the Opera, but in a different location. Okay. Let's have our players introduce themselves. And again, like if you guys want to say anything specific about like these playbooks that we're going to be playtesting today, like please do. All right. So, Kavya, if you want to start.
Sure. Well, I'm Kavya. I have slowly been diving into this. So you've probably seen me for an episode 2 with a completely different investigator. And this time expect a diametric opposite.
And Eirinar?
Hello, I'm Eirinar. I've been playing general TTRPGs for a couple of years. Recently been diving into a lot more GMing, homebrewing, that kind of stuff. So Kavya and I made the 3 playbooks that we're gonna be playing today, and hopefully they work out. This is fun.
Totally excited to give them a shot for sure. All right, great. Okay, and I am of course Mads, and I will be playing one of the custom playbooks. So I'm not playing Ronnie today. I'll be playing Ronnie's cousin, British cousin. And so anybody that is from England and specifically London, I do apologize if I butcher the accent because I haven't had a chance to practice anything other than the usual RP that I normally do. Please, disclaimer, it will not be correct or accurate. I'm just going to do my damnedest. And usual safety tools are in effect, of course, like for lines and veils and X card and open door policy. And then again, as a reminder, Phantom of the Opera is a mystery written for Paranormal Incorporated by Lara Page Turner. And it is a complexity 6 with a tone of PG-13. So as usual, goofiness may ensue and it'll be a fun romp, regardless. And we're going to enjoy this playtest. Okay? So, presenting the mystery. All right. The Northlake Theatre has been haunted for the last 10 years by a mischievous spirit the actors call Backstage Brian. He's largely harmless, hiding scripts, moaning in the rafters, or causing other low-effort haunting phenomena. However, disaster has marred every opening night for the past decade with events like a falling chandelier, a sudden blackout, or a possessed extra. Thankfully, these opening night issues hasn't caused any injuries, but theater management hasn't done anything to end the haunting. Instead, they loudly deny Brian's existence, claiming that the opening night disasters are just standard technical issues. But something's up. Regular theater walls don't bleed during Lady Macbeth's out, damn spot. One day, the theater's owner visits the Paranormal Incorporated office. He's a man with a perpetual sneer and an affected posh accent named Preston Burke. Reluctantly confesses the following. No, Backstage Brian truly doesn't exist. Or rather, I'm Backstage Brian. It's all marketing. People have come to expect an opening night disaster, so I engineer one. And on opening night, the house is always full. Actors are suspicious, superstitious. If I hide someone's script during a rehearsal, they assume Brian did it. So they see Brian in every shadow, and because actors love to talk, I get free publicity. But for the last month, props have disappeared. People have seen shadowy figures lurking and heard strange music. I'm not doing it. Something has moved in for real. The actors are frightened more than I want them to be. I need it gone, and I'm coming to you instead of a larger, better ghost hunting group because I need absolute discretion. I'll double your normal rate if none of the actors realize that anything is out of the ordinary. it seems like it's time for Paranormal Incorporated to spend a night at the theater. We're going to have an establishing question of what play is the Northlake Theatre putting on this year, and one of you is extremely familiar with it and why. All right? So, let's introduce our characters, and then we will see who's really familiar with this year's Northlake Theatre play. All right, so I will be playing the Brawler who fights things. I'll be playing, again, Ronnie's British cousin, Regina Revis, she, her, and she has a vibe of imposing but reliable. So that's wonderful. Her science is -1, wits 0, vigor 2, and intuition 0. She's basically built like a CrossFit athlete because that's what she does in her fun spare time when she's not trying to work on her TikTok videos and branding, like internet branding. But for the most part, I mean, like, you know, she will do stuff for the office when she feels like it. Her moves are, when in doubt, punch. The best way to talk it out is with your fists. During a ghostly encounter, roll with advantage when engaging it in physical combat. And then, idiots don't catch colds. Once per mystery, when you're about to take a negative physical condition, choose to ignore it and take the condition knucklehead instead. So, I can't wait to see if we can do any personal hauntings because I think these are awesome. And then I guess we'll fill the backpack as once we get through the character introduction. All right. So I'm going to popcorn it over to Eirinar. Sage, sorry.
Yep, I will be playing Sage, they're them. They're a priest who blesses things, so they just believe that you can bless every haunting away with a holy exorcism or something like that, probably. And all other forms of getting rid of ghosts are probably inferior as far as they're concerned. Their vibe is innocent and holier than thou, so at least they believe they're innocent of most sins. They have their stats are science -1 with 0, vigor 1, intuition 1. Science is not their thing. And yeah, my moves are the Lord's teachings contain all, so once per mystery, you may rewrite a clue as per the God's will, and the 7 capital virtues. The Lord punishes those who go against his teachings and rewards those who follow them. Once per scene, when another investigator embodies one of the 7 capital virtues, bless them with an advantage on their next roll, which is always handy to have an advantage or 2 extra. And let's see if I can hopefully do them justice.
My character's name is Zenaida Zervas. She, her pronouns, and she is the Reformed, and she darkens things. And I know it's called the Reformed, but honestly, it's just a role she's playing. She does not care. She is very criminal. Her vibe is cynical and vengeful, so I'm sensing a little bit of upcoming conflict with Sage. Her stats are science -1, wits 1, vigor 0, and intuition 1. So we're all going to do an amazing job investigating. And her moves are dark, mysterious past. There's a lot your coworkers don't know about you. Once per mystery, when entering a new location, state that you've been there before. Roll with advantage for the first discovery move you make there. And the second one is called A Life in the Shadows Leaves Its Mark. You may no longer need to skulk in the shadows, but muscle memory usually prevails, and roll with advantage to sneak and or hide.
All right, let's go ahead and populate our backpacks. So this way we know what we're carrying. We tend to forget about this part for whatever reason. I guess it's because it's like we get involved in our playbook moves, and we tend to forget. So, knowing what we know, and we can always add like more flavor text or something like that, to your custom playbooks. At a later time, but I mean, like, as we play through, maybe this will give some great ideas for doing that. What do you think is in Regina's backpack?
Definitely some kind of camera stand so she can just record things on the go if she needs to.
I was going to say maybe a bottle filled with some kind of protein shake or something like that.
Fabulous. Now we're going to assume that Sage is going to have the holy symbol, like handy. So
For sure.
that's already like understood. So what is in their backpack?
Just this fuck you big bottle of holy water.
And it actually,
I think that could.
it'll actually
with a little
have.
spray attachment.
Okay, so okay, you want to fill that in, Eirinar?
Sure.
I want to see how you put that. I mean, I really think that you have it, but somebody, one of us, has scribbled F star 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 U on the bottle.
Oh, that sounds like me.
Okay, sorry. Okay. Oh, poop. Let's drop something. It's starting off wonderfully. Hold on. Oh, okay. You have some kind of container where you bless things. I mean, like seriously bless things. I mean, like, if you need to put it in something to be able to kind of like hold your hands over it or pour holy water on it, and it's kind of like a consecrated bowl, which can also double as a singing bowl, in a pinch, because it's got that kind of like material and rim to it. So you may or may not know that. I don't know. It's like, I think it's a cute detail. And then what does Zenaida have in her backpack? Do we want to say something sensible or something completely bazonkers?
I don't.
It's your guys' decision.
Yeah.
What do you think?
We can do one sensible and one crazy.
Well, I mean, like, do you want to be the sensible one, or like, do you want me to be the sensible one? Because I have an object for each.
No, go for crazy. I think I can do sensible much better.
She Zenaida can pull out a grappling gun.
Oh, amazing. How does it sound? To have a cloak with an insane number of just pockets that you can put stuff in and hide stuff in.
You know that every single one of those pockets has something.
Yeah.
What if it was like one of those like, like belts with the thigh holsters?
Oh yeah, that would also work. Like just a crazy number of pockets.
You're not wearing it necessarily, you just have it because it's like there's so much shit in it.
I mean, see, if there's stuff in the utility belt, I'm wearing it. But maybe I'm wearing like a cloak over everything.
Right. Here you go. You can do it too.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's gonna be hysterical. So in a way, it's kind of like how Estrella had the pocket handkerchiefs. Oh Jesus.
Yeah, my characters have a theme.
Yeah.
They always have what they need.
It's great. No, I love it. Okay. So I think we've covered everything. So let's get back to the matter at hand. What play is the Northlake Theatre putting on this year? And then one of us is familiar with it. So who would be most likely to go to a show? Or like to, excuse me. It could be an off Broadway thing. It could be like, some crazy musical of a movie or something.
The only way Zen's going to the theater is if she's there to do something else and the play is just there. So we can say that she goes to every show just to steal things from people, which is why she's familiar with it, because she sees it every night. If no one else has anything better.
I mean, like, I have some ideas, but I mean, oh, I know. Okay, so the play that the Northlake Theatre is putting on this year, and like, you guys tell me if you agree, is a musical version of the movie Red. But they call it something different, so it's not Red. It's like I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's basically the forced retirees of like the CIA, FBI, MI6, and all that kind of stuff, and they're getting together to pull off a job, a, an accidental job, but there it is. Anyway, so it's not called Red; it's called
Crimson or something.
Yeah, it's called Crimson. Yeah.
Yes.
So the musical version of Red, which is called Crimson, and so that's what the Northlake Theatre is putting on. And that's what Phantom of the Opera, like Backstage Brian, is supposedly haunting. So let's see. So we've established it's Crimson, and I will say that Regina like really is looking forward to this because she loves that movie, especially Helen Mirren, of course, and she wants to see like how they do it, like for the stage show, because I mean, of course, movies and musicals are completely different things. So the goal is to discover who's haunting the theater and either convince them to leave or remove them by force. Ideally, do this without letting the actors know why you're there. So, setup. After you accept the job, Preston Burke hurries out of your office, leaving behind a key. "This is for spare costume storage," he says. "Find something inconspicuous to wear." The nondescript door at the back of the theater leads to a dim storage room filled with rack upon rack of clothing. Go around the group and have every investigator describe the outfit they throw together. There's nobody and nothing to speak of in this old storage room. Play begins when you draw a location card and head into the theater. As a review, the way that Paranormal Incorporated works is it's fully collaborative. We are all GMs / keepers for this game. We will share responsibility in deeming the location, which is represented by the hearts suit of the cards, because we're using a deck of cards for this. Clues, which is clubs. NPCs, which I believe is spades. And paranormal events, which is denoted by diamonds. We can share NPCs. So basically, like if we pull an NPC card or decide to pull an NPC, that if it's narratively positioned well, then we will go ahead and just, do each other's NPCs. So we're not talking to ourselves, although I've done that. So yeah, we'll share that duty out. So location can be me to start. And clubs can go to Eirinar, and paranormal events can go to Kavya.
Just quick question. Are we replacing cards back into the pile, or how are we doing that?
With the way we've played, it's like we never get to the end of the cards.
Replace.
No.
I mean, if we run out, we can just shuffle everything again.
Yeah. We'll just reshuffle. But I mean, like, for the most part, we usually don't get past like maybe 3-4 locations max. Especially because, again, we don't have to necessarily stick together for the locations. Like, so if one of us wants to wander off and then investigate something else, that could increase the dramatic tension and also give us more opportunity for clues. All right, so let's go ahead and draw the first hearts card, Kavya, and then I will describe it.
That's a 10.
A 10, okay. 10 hearts, and then go ahead and draw a paranormal event to get ready for something.
And that is an 8. I will drop these when necessary.
Yep, absolutely. All right. So we should all have the character keeper up, of course, and then the copy of the mystery up, which I had posted in the chat. So this way we can read off our prompts as needed. Okay, so for the location, the 10 of hearts. Oh, we need to discuss like how we're dressed. Okay, so of course, Regina is like digging through all of these things and being very fussy about it because she's, again, does CrossFit. She's kind of built, so her shoulders and arms are a bit big for some of this crap. So what she ends up finding is an old costume of like that goes with like a pirate outfit. So like a big floofy shirt with like ruffles and such. And she's trying to do the ties so she's not showing off everything. as best as she can. And then, like, of course, the pants are like tight leather pants, and she finds a pair of boots that go over the knee, and she's like, of course, selfieing it away. It's like, oh, this isn't bad. Oh, look at that angle. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, look at that. Oh, cool. Oh, wait. All right. Oh, not cleavage. All right, great, wonderful. And then so that's what she's pulled out of this closet to be more, or excuse me, less conspicuous. All right, great. So, what do you two find?
Sage is going to Sage is probably like before this wearing some kind of priest's robes situation, but now they're going to look through like the stuff and find probably some normal light green shirt and then just some comfy looking reaches the ankle pants. But also I think they're going to try to find some kind of cloak or almost poncho situation if they can, which vaguely resembles
Robes.
the robes that they had before, because of course, so now they're wearing what is basically this black poncho with green shirt and like brown pants underneath, and it's probably going to cause someone pain, but Sage is fine with it.
It's causing me pain. You're already causing me pain. Zen is digging through looking for something sensible that she can move around in because she knows how this area goes for reasons that we have disclosed to the players and not the characters. She ends up finding some kind... It's basically a pile of things that people wear under their costumes usually. So she's wearing a pair of shorts with some kind of weird tank top. She has her utility belt still, and she picks up this really big cloak just so she can cover it because she does have some weapons in there and don't want to cause a panic. For shoes, she's just taken whatever seems easiest to move in. So it's this weird pair of, well, not sneakers, you wouldn't have that, but some kind of weird combination, cross between ballet flats and boots. She does not know why they exist, but they seem usable, so she's wearing them.
Regina will look at you both and go, you know, if they have a scene where it's going to be including, you know, hooded priests or hooded, you know, figures, they may pull you. You do realize that, right? I mean, and of course, Zen, I do love the shoes, absolutely, but my God, you two, oh my, never mind.
It's called ease of movement, Regina.
And this is not ease of movement. Look at me. I mean, this is like, and she starts flapping her arms and like showing the billowing of the sleeves, and then like, you know, like literally doing a jig with her boots. This is not
those
movement.
sleeves are definitely not going to get in the way. For
Absolutely
sure.
not. I mean, look at this. It's like so much room. It's like usually I'm like busting out of my t-shirt. Jeez.
Just cut the sleeves off.
Oh god.
I would love to do that. Would you like it if I did that? I mean, like, I can totally show them off. I mean, if you want, I can totally do it.
Why would you do it now?
Okay,
in
not
the
now.
Theater.
Not now.
These aren't even our clothes.
That's true. That's quite true. All right.
Well, that's even more reason to do it.
That's true. Hmm? I'll do it if you. I'll do it if you take off your cloak.
Well, you know, gotta hide the equipment, and Zen is very purposefully gesturing to her front instead of her utility belt.
And she just looks, and Regina just looks you up and down, and
yeah. Sage is going to just sort of at all of this just feel like while I suspect that Regina is going to develop a liking for poofy sleeves in general, I think we should like make our way to.
Jeez, Sage, no need to get your. Is that a poncho? No need to get your poncho in a twist.
It is something that is that resembles my usual clothing, simply because I do not wish to forget what I normally look like.
Right, when the Lord blessed Earth, they gave us ponchos.
It's not like I would expect you to understand.
And as usual, Regina will like intersperse herself in between you two, and just kind of like she puts her bulk in between. It's like, and we should head off to the office, and then that's how she presents it. And then you are on your way to Preston Burke's office as the first location of the game.
Yeah.
The office is large but messy. Books, ledgers, loose paper cover every surface. Paint the scene. What information do you glean about the theater's management and financial situation from glancing at the documents?
Zen gleans that it is not doing too great. I mean, she already knew that kind of because of, well, she's been here attending and the seats haven't been as filled as they would usually be. Normally she has to scramble to find somewhere to sit and hide. But now she can just take her pick. But also some of the papers that are on the desk appear to be some sort of bank statement / financial reports, and you can see that there is red on them. They're almost bleeding red. Sorry, crimson.
I think Sage is going to notice that below or beside perhaps the bank statements that exist, there are also these little sort of chits almost of notes, or almost like not quite betting ledgers, but tiny unofficial looking contracts with people who are definitely not the bank that the theater seems to owe money. The theater owner at least seems to owe money to.
Makes you wonder how he's going to pay us.
Yeah. So, I mean, one of the things that Regina notices is that there's a lot of invoices that don't look like invoices. So, interspersed with the stuff that marked in crimson, it's basically where they are unofficial. Like, you owe such and such amount. I need my money at such and such amount by blah 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 date. And it's coming up pretty dang soon. So that's
Zen's gonna see these letters that you've now pointed out, and she's gonna take one. She's gonna take a couple, go through, look at the names, and be like, "Oh well, this theater's fucked."
Yeah, it's not looking too good, is it? Ugh.
Oh no, I don't mean the financials. They are fucked. I know these guys.
Oh dear. Should we worry about getting paid?
I think we should do it out of the goodness of our hearts, and because these people clearly need our help.
Ignoring you and your high horse for a second, if he doesn't pay us, I'll get it out of him. It's fine.
You would stoop to the level of these people who have sent this man these letters just for a little bit of coin?
Honey, there is no stooping. I'm already there.
And Regina will interject and say, you do realize, Sage, that there's money that needs to come into the office to be able to spend out of the office.
We have enough for the time being, I think. This man is clearly struggling a lot. We should do it because it is the right thing to do.
So at this point, Zen has taken out one of her little throwing knives, and she's kind of spinning it between her fingers, and she says, "Well, he's about to have a lot more trouble."
All right. Well, nothing yet. Let's do a little bit of discovering, shall we say, and then see what we can see in this place. All right.
Sure, nothing yet. And she makes a big show of putting the knife away.
And does it disappear underneath the cloak? Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Awesome. Okay. So
I'm going to be watching you. You better not be hurting any people that don't deserve to be hurt. Zenaida.
And who determines who's deserving of being hurt, Sage?
Not Zenaida, probably.
Well, I beg nothing of you, but I demand your pardon. I definitely am capable of determining who needs to be hurt.
Why do I even bother?
And Regina goes to a corner and starts discovering. All right, great.
There we go.
Okay,
Crystal.
so yeah, let's do a first roll here.
So how's she doing it?
Okay, yeah, let's see. Let me go over things again. All right, so okay. So I'm basically punching things. So I'm not even gonna worry about any move. I'm gonna do I don't know if you agree with me on this, but you can if you think it works. Because has vigor, I want to say she actually lifts things. She'll actually lift the desk, to see underneath or whatever if there's anything hidden. She'll kind of try to move aside any bookshelves or cases that are in this office, kind of shuffle the file cabinet, in a
It's
shuffle
perfect. We're
walk.
gonna leave this office such a mess. You lift the desk and the papers just slide off, and none of us
Damn
cares
straight.
to put them back except maybe Sage.
Damn straight. So yeah, I mean, she's totally gonna do this, and I want to do this with vigor. So that's why the science roll doesn't f me over. All right, so
Sounds great.
using vigor. Oh my god! Of course, it only does it when I really 12. So for the move discovery, okay, so 12 or above, you find 2 clues. All right.
So do I draw 2 clue cards?
It just says if the player responsible for the clue card will tell you what they are. So I'm assuming just 1 clue card.
Okay.
So.
Well, Eirinar, that's a 5 on clubs.
5 on clubs. Just a sec.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Those are at the end.
Also, just offhand, I love the paranormal events that I can choose from.
Okay. And then you can introduce that.
Right?
I'm sorry?
I have to pick 1?
2, because I rolled a 12.
12.
2 from the same thing? From 5?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you sort of lift the table, a book that you hadn't noticed just sort of plonks to the ground, and it looks really cheap and not well made at all. And you see it, and it says the country's most haunted playhouses. I can paste that somewhere if you want me to. And also, kind of just out of place in this pile of what is now papers and dust, probably, is a wilted and discarded bouquet of roses.
Look what I found. And then I'm going to say that Regina, I'm going to start calling her Reggie because it's just easier. She doesn't really use her full name. So Reggie will find the roses off of the bookshelf from behind some books. And then she'll find the most haunted playhouses book underneath the desk, as if it was being hidden there. Yeah. So, and then she'll call attention to it to the 2 of you and go, "Oh, look at this! I mean, look what I found. It's the country's most haunted playhouses." Huh? I mean, he's already admitted that he's backstage Brian. You think he might be doing a little bit more chicanery to get in this book? And
I mean, I wouldn't put it past him.
Right. And then
now that you have found it, it is possible that he is just calling us here to sort of lend weight to his argument or whatever it was, right?
True.
Sage, I'm so proud of you. I'm so glad I'm able to be a corrupting influence.
I am not condoning any violence you make towards this man, especially for money.
Yet.
Never.
Reggie will lean into you, Zen, and go, "What she doesn't know won't hurt her."
See?
Anyway, and then she'll call attention to these roses that were hidden behind a pile of books in the bookshelf. It's why do you think these were back here? It seems really odd.
Maybe it's because they're the ugliest roses I've ever seen.
Well, they're wilted, of course, but this seems quite recent.
Maybe someone gave them to him and he didn't have the financial ability to return them, looks pointedly at Zenaida, or replace them in a nice vase or something like that.
Well, looking on all the books, he definitely had the financial ability to press them. So, and at this, Zen is going to take the roses and start examining them.
Okay.
So, she is looking for like any kind of additives. Like, is there decoration that seems like out of place? Like maybe a ribbon with something written on it. Does it feel like on top of the already wilted dustiness, is there some kind of additional powder on there, etc., etc.? Which unfortunately I think is science.
Yes, our best role as a team.
You called on that yourself.
But I do have dark mysterious past, and I have mentioned that I have been in this entire building before. So that's an advantage on that discovery move, yes. I don't think Sophie wrote that. 4 + 3 - 1. That's a 6. Then finds nothing.
Definitely. Well, I mean, it finds nothing, but it also. Let's see, what could go wrong?
You know, I could introduce a paranormal event here.
Yes, you can.
This is a very good opportunity. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, she's going through the roses, kind of taking them out individually, and when she finds nothing, just crumpling them in her hand and dropping them on the ground. And as she does it to the last rose, the pile of dust kind of starts to stir, and we begin to hear this howling, almost wailing, as a ghostly human figure bound in chains briefly appears in that spot before sinking beneath the floor.
Must you be so violent that even the ghosts decide to pay us a visit and tell you to do otherwise?
The ghost was bound. It was clearly asking for help.
Well, at least it didn't try to attack us. It's like, be greeted with quite the punch. From me, at least. Well, I guess it is haunted after all. And, Reggie will
and
raise
this
the
is why
book.
we shouldn't assume the worst in people. Zenaida.
No, this is why we should assume the worst in people, so then you can be pleasantly surprised sometimes. You know, on those rare occasions where you're wrong.
Are you being very pointed about, like, who's being wrong? And Reggie has her ironic look on her face.
Oh, Reggie, perish the thought. I would never.
Got it. All right, then. Well, I think we've shaken the tree for all the leaves. Looking at the swat that she left behind. She will try to move certain things back. Not well, but she will.
Sage is going to
I'm
help.
not planning that.
Sage is going to help, like, just not rearrange them as they were, but just pile everything into one relatively decent looking pile. Not just a heap of sheets, no, just like a stack, and just put it in a corner or something.
Zen's just leaning against the door and just waiting for you guys to finish, kind of examining her nails, cleaning under them with a knife again.
So then, it wouldn't hurt you to. I'm so sorry. It wouldn't hurt you to help us sometimes.
It would hurt my sensibilities.
Do you have any? And Reggie, like, while she's saying that, she will stuff the country's most haunted playhouses book in her backpack.
Just the one, don't help people unless you really, really have to.
I mean, I do have to kind of let my cousin know if you are having reservations about working for the office. I mean...
Oh, please, I love working here. I mean, where else would I get to interrogate people to get information to then take out paranormal things?
True.
And get paid for it.
Well, as we've seen, we hope we will, and that's the point. So, either way, we are going to finish this and find out what in hell is going on. So, all right. Let us go to... Actually, you know what? Because you had a miss on your roll, let's introduce an NPC that conveniently stumbles
Nice.
into, why the hell are we in the head guy's office?
Cool. So that's spades.
Okay? Yes.
That is a 9.
A 9.
And, well, I can't play the NPC because Zen's gonna pick a fight.
Oh, here we go. 9. Oh dear.
Oh, it's perfect.
Yes. So Preston Burke himself, the owner, waltzes into the office and stops suddenly at the door and looks at us. Your client,
Zen
although he
is
pretends not to
not
know who you
facing.
are, just in case there are actors around to overhear. Luckily, there are like some people that are out in the hall that we've passed coming in here that are around, because otherwise I think he'd be giving us a lot more to listen to than what he'd say. It's like, what in the world are you doing in my office? Shouldn't you be rehearsing? Looking with gaggled eyebrows at us.
You are Preston Burke, right? I never forget a face.
Yes. Quite busy here,
Well-
quite busy, and I'm sure you must be too, so if you need something.
Well,
be
I'm
quick.
actually here on business. And, so can I retcon one of the names on those letters? The ones that Zen was like, oh, I know these people. This
Sure.
guy's fucked.
Yeah.
Let's say, Hook.
Okay.
I have to. So she still has the knife out, and now instead of cleaning her nails, she's kind of twirling it near her face so it draws his attention. And she says, Hook sent me. You know, just got to make sure that you can deliver on those payments.
As I said, and it's being very loud for anybody else around. Quite busy. Got to do stuff in here. If you're quite done, you can head off to rehearsal. Yes?
Right. We'll be seeing you around, old chap. And she's gonna pat his shoulder in a very patronizing manner as she walks by out the door.
As Sage passes him by, they're going to say, I am sorry, Potter. Shaking the head and just sort of like, just whisper, I am sorry, Potter. Not very loudly, but...
At this point, like as you two are filing out, Reggie has finished putting the book in her backpack before Preston came in, and will pointedly lift up the desk and then let it drop again with a very resounding thud and say,
They just put those papers.
"All right,
down.
old chap. I think we've done what we need to do here. Thank you." And then she'll give him a look as she's passing him out the door to follow you two. All right. So let's go ahead and do the next location card.
That is a 6.
Okay,
And I will go ahead and draw Paranormal Event as well,
please.
which is a 1.
Paranormal. Okay. All right. So. Boop 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 boop.
Oh.
All right. Oh goodness. Okay. So we find ourselves. Oh goodness! Like you're always excited. It's wonderful. All right. So we find ourselves coming out of Preston Burke's office, and then like there's a gaggle of people that are around because they're getting stuff ready for this opening night that's happening. There's like tech work. There's actors that are in costume. Some of the actors will kind of look at you. And then some of the tech workers who are all dressed in black with like the headsets and such, they'll kind of look at you too as well, because it's like they'll whisper to each other, like, "Are they supposed to be in those costumes? Like, what scene is that in? I mean, am I missing my cue?" And then, they'll pass us, and then we can see if we get into the theater itself, like with all the seats. There's like some narrow stairs that lead to the catwalks above the audience, where lights are attached. The house's massive chandelier is just barely reachable from the catwalks, and a few actors rehearse a scene on stage. So, paint the scene. From here, you can see that someone observes the rehearsal on stage from the far back. Who is it?
Wait, just one person?
Well, I mean, I imagine that, I mean, if we're gonna, see what we're going to see, right? I think this would be a great opportunity for Reggie to kind of like check out the catwalks. Like, athletic ability, she's probably bounding up those damn stairs anyway. And so go ahead and draw another location card, and then Zen and Sage can investigate there.
That is a 4.
Okay, so you two.
And I will draw another paranormal event.
Mm-hmm. Yep. 2. So I will let's do you two first at the prop closet. So you find yourselves like while Reggie's up checking out the catwalks. The prop closet is an enormous room filled with just about anything you can imagine, from swords to sofas. It is so unbelievably cluttered you can barely make it past the door. So paint the scene for you two. There's a table for props used in this show, but one carefully labeled space is empty. What's missing?
One thing total.
I mean, if you want to make it 2, that's fine.
Do 2.
Yeah, it's just easier that way.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go first, Zen?
Give me a sec.
That was out of character, of course. So you'll never call you Zen.
Okay, that is rude. Like, using her full name is so rude. I'm gonna say that it's a you know those guns, the prop ones that are loaded with air instead of actual bullets.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't actually shoot a person with them, but if they're fired too close to you, they will cause some damage. One of those is missing. This is not going to come back and bite us.
I am going to go in the completely strange direction and say, how do I put this? A full set of spoons, and by which I mean like tablespoon, teaspoon, soup spoon, dessert spoon. Like there's a full set, and you can see sort of the outlines of the spoon on like the dust, and it's like missing, and it says somewhere like prop spoons or something. It was the first thought that came to my mind, and I just decided to go with it.
Absolutely.
Oh my god.
Okay. All right. So let's stick with this because this is strange, and then you guys can discuss it. So, all right. Again, you're like squeezing past the door, but I mean, there's probably some stuff to find, as you have seen for the prop table. So a gun is missing. Spoons are missing for whatever reason. Do you guys want to do discovery in here?
Yes. Both of us in different ways.
Yeah. I mean, I would imagine that after looking at the prop table, like you two kind of split up and then try to see what you're going to see.
Mm-hmm.
Investigate in your own way.
I am going to try to sort of do things like, I don't know, squeeze into a corner or like an inaccessible potentially area, or like hop over sofas or benches or whatever.
Okay.
Sort of
Sure.
try to.
Well,
Yeah.
you've got more vigor than Zen does, so I mean, like that's perfectly
Yeah.
And actually, I'll describe what Zen does after we've done your move.
Okay. I don't know. That is a 7, 8.
Okay.
That is a 1. Which of us should take this clue? Because normally Eirinar's handling them.
Okay. Let's see. Clues. All right. So 1, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You find, because this is like full of crap, a photo of the cast and crew with everyone's eyes crossed out.
Do you recognize what play they're in? Like, is it this one or is it something else?
It's a recent one, so I'm gonna say it's this one.
Okay.
Or actually, we don't necessarily have to say. I mean, like, again, it's general enough that, like, if we want to change the context,
Make it
we
someone
can
else.
retcon it. Yeah, let's go ahead and retcon it. I mean, like, you just find it, like, this is weird. I mean, like, everybody's eyes are crossed out. What the heck?
And can someone remind me how you would wit things?
Okay, so, I mean, I always associate, like, wits with being more of speed. Like, you are trying to MacGyver something, like, and then you use your wits to figure out a clever way around it or quickly, So to me, like, wits has always been like more about speed, and expediency rather than like really researching and gathering things.
So thinking on your feet kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect.
Okay, so that doesn't fit because Zen's not reacting to anything. She's just looking for things. I think she's going to kind of like trust her gut to tell her where it has the most interesting thing in this room. The same way that she would, case a place to steal things or case a target to steal things. And does that make it intuition or is that still science?
I mean, if you're just kind of like going on your gut, I mean, like, that's totally intuition.
Yep, gut feeling.
And we're going to introduce a complication for Sage's role, like, in a minute, but I just want to
that's another 6. I am doing Zen such a
Change
disservice
your
with my
dice.
rolls.
Change your dice.
It's not her dice. It's who she
I
is
always
as a
roll like
person.
this. Yeah.
The probability gods are never
pleased with me. But yeah, I'll switch them out, see if that helps.
I could send you, not that I roll the best usually, but I mean,
Still
anyway.
better than this.
Oh God, yes. Okay, so Paranormal Event.
I got one. Yeah.
Please,
Okay.
and then I will introduce. I'll see if that will lean into the complication that I have planned for Sage.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead.
So, just for as an aside, the moment I saw both of these, I already picked which ones I was going to use.
Mm-hmm.
And so right now in the room, as I suppose Sage turns to show Zen the photograph and be like, "What the fuck? Did you do this?" And for a full minute, without knowing how or why, everyone speaks in a Shakespearean era English dialect. And in character, I don't know if I'm capable of it, but
+1 on that. I don't know if I can in character, but wow, that will be hard. Okay. We showed our what did you get? Did you get a clue?
I got a 6. I rolled a 5 and I added 1.
Okay. So.
And so as Zen turns Sage turns to show you the picture, there is like some sort of sound coming from above, because again this prop room is like so stacked full of crap, it's ridiculous. And then Sage finds themselves like near one of those cabinets, like with like drawers in it, and there's like a thud or a rumble, something like some kind of vibration that happens, and one or a couple of the boxes that are stacked on top of this cabinet start to fall. So go ahead and do a risky move, I believe. Yeah. Go ahead and do a risky move, Sage. Oh wait, what are you afraid will happen? What are you afraid will happen if you miss?
I am afraid that this box is going to seriously injure me, potentially sully my cape, and that's it. The cape, and the biggest thing I'm afraid of though is that Zenaida will like shove it in my face, basically. That fell.
Well, I thought you were gonna say I'm gonna get seriously injured because you led with that, and then Zen will be left to her own devices.
Oh no.
Well, basically, it's worse than that. You're going to be concussed and you're going to be knocked out, and Zen will have to deal with whatever is going on while you're unconscious, and you're in conscious form. So yeah.
And Zen is just going to leave you there, maybe drag you under the prop table.
Excellent. Okay, so you're going to roll with, I would imagine, vigor to get the hell out of the way.
Right. That is a 4.
Oh.
Wow.
Do you wanna do a personal haunting there, buddy?
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, let's do that.
Please do a personal haunting.
I mean, Zen is very happy with you unconscious, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah, just pick one, and I mean, we can choose to do one now, or you can wait until like after we take a break, which will happen in a few minutes. I just want to
I
finish.
will take one. Yeah, I'll take the one I think is super interesting. So we'll see how it
Great.
goes.
Okay. So let's go ahead and finish out this scene. So, the box falls, just missing Sage's head, and so it claps like right behind you, Sage, and creates this like booming noise as it falls to the floor and on like top of a bunch of other crap, and I'm just imagining it shocks you, and then you're like
Yeah.
letting the picture fall to the floor as you're holding it, like um,
Immediately turn to Zenaida and we're still speaking as Shakespearean, yes?
yes,
Yep.
yes.
It's just like, Didst the
God damn
this,
it.
the idiot, and just like stares at Zenaida and realizes that they spoke in like not English, and then even more glaring,
Pretty creature, 'twas not my doing.
just like thinks about saying something, opens mouth and just
Realizes that we'll have to figure out how to say them and then stops.
no, not that. It's more like Sage is so done and like angry and mildly in shock from this giant thing that almost fell on them that they're just gonna stare at Zenaida in absolute rage. And just
Zen is just smirking, like she has wanted to see Sage lose their shit forever. And now that it's happening, yay.
Maybe as a side note, maybe Reggie shouldn't have left you two to your own devices.
Yeah, I thought they wouldn't have, but like,
Well, I mean, yeah, Reggie's definitely she, her. She's been bounding up the stairs, and she's gonna get to the catwalk. And before we take our break, I mean, she kind of like gets this weird little like tingle or something like that as she's making it to the catwalk, and she says, "'Struth, 'tis strange." She says this to herself.
oh no, I didn't realize it affected everyone. Oops.
I'm letting it happen to everybody because why the hell not? It's fun. All right.
Oh,
So,
yeah, that's
narrow stairs lead to the catwalks above the audience where lights are attached. Houses massive chandeliers just barely reachable from the catwalks. A few actors rehearse a scene on stage. From here, you can see that someone observes the rehearsal on stage from the far back. Who? I think that Reggie is, looking at looking at everything from the catwalks. Like she's looking down at the actors that are on stage. Like they're rehearsing like a particular scene where I guess somebody's being dragged in from getting shot, and then they're getting bandaged up by another character. And then she's kind of letting her eyes wander to the back, and it's like in shadow. She almost wants to say like it could be a director or a tech person, but they don't have that look of like paying attention and like running cues or anything like that. They have this attention of being very furtive, being very secretive. So she will see if she can maneuver herself a little bit on the catwalk to get a closer look without coming down just yet. She wants to see if she can see who it is before doing this. So in this case, I'm going to say like discovery, but with science. I guess she's trying to figure out like who it could be. So
wow, we really should have made our sciences 0. Oops.
I know, right? Oops.
no, I do not regret it. Sage is not.
No, I don't really regret it either. It doesn't make any sense for my brawler to
For the characters,
Yeah.
no.
No. Oh my god.
Mechanically- Oh,
Okay, I mean, like, I could take a picture of this shit. I mean, like, or whatever, but I mean, like, again, a 12. I mean, no, sorry. No, I apologize.
minus 1.
-1, sorry. A 9.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to do
Oops.
it bigger again. Okay, so 9.
Yeah, okay.
Still good,
That
but...
is a 10 on that clue.
Okay. So, what do I got?
On the catwalk itself, I think you see this what looks to be or looks to have been a safety harness, but it is sort of pretty torn up, like willfully torn up, seems like. And it's more like the ruins of a safety harness than, and it's just on the catwalk. It's there.
AKA Reggie barely even recognizes that it is a safety harness, not just a pile of scrap leather.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
And that's scaring her a little bit because it's like, this is necessary. So why the hell is it up here messed up like this? Yeah. So we can introduce a paranormal event or an NPC up here if you want.
So I have a paranormal event.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how much sense it would make right now, though.
Okay, so if you want to hold that in reserve,
yeah,
do an
I'll
NPC
keep
card
it for now.
Yeah. Do an NPC
I think
card.
an NPC card is the
That
best.
is an 8 on the NPC. Eirinar, do you want to take this one or should I?
I'll do it.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, okay. Lovely. I love this so much. So, sort of strolling up the catwalk like nobody's business are these very sort of well-dressed elderly couple who look like they shouldn't even be in the theater, maybe, except when there's a show running. But they're just like casually walking up the catwalk, and so there's this woman and there's this man, and they come up to you and say, "Ooh, a fresh face. I don't believe we've seen you here, dear."
Are you supposed to be up here? I mean, you
Are we still in in the fucked up English?
If you want me to,
God.
I can go back to it.
It's only the investigators, though, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I asked.
Yeah.
It's like, Struth, just supposed to be here, or not to be here.
She says, "Oh, you must be one of those new method actors they've got."
And she's just like, and then like, she's like, and then go ahead.
And so then, so she says, the woman who's talking to you, like she's the woman's the one in the couple, and she looks like she's sort of, not, I don't want to say leering because that's not what it is. She's sort of just like, her eyes start to like sort of sparkle the moment she sees a new person speaking in Shakespearean English to boot. And she's like, well, what is your name? I'm surprised that these ghastly rumors haven't driven you away, dear.
She's talking to Reggie?
Yeah. She's just...
So Reggie will like try to explain gently. It's like, who she is, but it comes out as, "Struth, I am Regina Revis." And then she stops. My pardons to thee, sir and madame.
And then this woman is going to be like, "Oh, sweetie, I am ancient, but even I only catch half of what you're saying. But Regina, was it? I'm Hortense. This is Alfred. We just, we're some of the people who throw a tiny bit of money into this theater. So, yes, we are, in fact, supposed to be here."
And then, Reggie's really trying to be very slow with her speech to try not to be Shakespearean for whatever reason.
It only lasts for a minute. So.
Okay.
Oh,
so,
it's done, I think.
Okay,
yeah,
all right. So, and then she's like, gets a hold of herself and says, "I'm sorry, I don't know what came over me. I am Reggie, Revis. Yes. You just seem rather mature to be up in these environs for being able to tour the theater. Are you sure this is all right? You okay?"
Nonsense. We're perfectly hale and hearty, as you can see, and
Yes.
I love knowing. Huh?
They are not hale and hearty.
Oh yeah, and I love exploring every inch of this theater. I'm sure you understand. It's almost like a child to me. whether this is the direction I'm going in, but this is where we're going with this.
Would you, and so basically, like, Reggie kind of like blinks at that and says, "Do you happen to know?" Lowering her voice, "Do you happen to know who that is?" And then she'll point out that the shadowy figure that's kind of looking from backstage. Would you happen to know who that is?
She sort of squints her eyes and then tries to see it.
Does she
Is
take
she
out a
wearing
pair
like
of
really
opera
big glasses? Yeah. Jinx.
I was going to say she probably is wearing them like sunglass style up here, but then she just pulls them down and squints through them. But you get the feeling they're not doing too much anyway. She's like, are you sure that's not one of the backstage curtains? All these kids and all these rumors, they just...
Understood. Yes. Sorry. I mean, like, it's a bit far and it's a bit dark to look, I'm sure. Well, I mean, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, it's wonderful being here. Absolutely. I'm very excited about the show. Are you, Crimson? Oh my God! And then she's literally doing this. Hey, would you mind if I took a selfie? I mean, like, other fans. This would be wonderful.
A selfie. Is it one of those things where you take a picture of yourself? And
yes,
pretend?
but I want to include you. I want to include you in the picture as well. I'll put it on my TikTok.
She's going to say, how lovely, a TikTok. Certainly. And then she's just going to sort of pose this is an old person who's trying to look like she's fitting in with you. So she's just going to do like this really bright smile, which does not fit her face.
And it's like, so just get it set it up. It's like really quick. And then she's like, gets her camera, does the thing. And then like, it's like, and then like she holds it out really far. I mean, she doesn't really want to like maneuver the camera stand and all that kind of stuff out of her backpack with these two here. Because she's really worried. And so she stretches out her arm as far as she possibly can and goes, all right, look at the camera and say Crimson, click. And she gets the selfie, and then like,
and she says, oh, these TikTok friends of yours, do you think they'd be interested in coming to this play if it was publicized enough?
I would think so. I mean, like, I'm a particular fan of the niche of the genre. I mean, I think if they knew more about it, knowing like what the touchstones are, I think it would be fabulous. So yeah, I think that would be working out pretty fine. And then so as she's saying this, she's trying to herd them back down the narrow stairs. This way we're not on the catwalk
and she's
anymore.
going to say, well, I don't know too much about the play itself. I don't bother myself with things like this, but I can give you some juicy gossip that would help, I don't know, spread the word about at least the theater, I think.
Interesting. What kind of juicy gossip are we talking? And then we're making our way down the stairs, and then off the stairs.
Everyone in the cast and crew is talking about the dalliance between the director and Miss Palmer.
What?
Yeah,
Really?
it's all very hush-hush, supposedly, but it's not really. You understand.
So it's really, but it's not really?
It's supposed to be hush-hush. Everyone thinks that they are, but, word gets around and nothing escapes Hortense Delacourt.
Oh, so you're the one in the know. This is getting quite interesting. Can I invite you both out for a coffee at Timmy Stars? We can dish more about this over coffee.
So, what kind of place is this? What was the name you said?
Well, I mean, okay, so on the side, so one of the running jokes in the episodes for my series of Paranormal Incorporated is that there's late night Kates, which we will go to later on, like in between like investigating the theater and such. But this one is like the joke of Ronnie in the other part of the series always having coffee from Timmy Stars, the ubiquitous coffee chain that's in that universe, in our universe.
Right.
So basically, Ronnie's got the app what like has their orders already plugged in, and then there's always a Timmy Stars next door to the investigation location.
Okay.
Of course there is.
So Ronnie always has like a coffee that they can pull out from behind their back. Now Reggie is not the intern, so she's not gonna do that. But I mean, she knows
She
very
does
much
love
about
this.
Everybody knows about Timmy Stars in this universe.
Okay. So I think this person is going to like turn up her nose a little bit and she's just Timmy Stars. I'm sure there's a better restaurant we can meet at. Like she's a little bit snooty about going to just some coffee chain.
I understand.
Especially
it's a little bit
since
too
it's a chain.
right. It's a little bit too franchised for your taste. I appreciate that very much. But I would love to dish a little bit further, if you don't mind.
Oh, certainly. That would be incredibly interesting. I think.
Wonderful. And so, like, we're just going to close out that scene. And then we'll figure out, like, if we want to continue the conversation with Hortense. And we didn't get the husband's name yet, did we? He's the silent one.
He's just sitting there.
Yeah, he's there. He's being herded around by first his wife, and then
Why
to
am I
some
not
extent
surprised?
Reggie.
Yes, why am I not surprised? Oh, the poor husband. The poor benighted husband. Okay, so we're going to close out that scene, and then you two are still arguing in the prop closet.
But now it's in English.
Now it's in English.
Yeah, normal English.
Yeah, no problem. Well, I mean, like, again, you said it
Yes.
only lasted a minute, so regular English, I hope, at this point.
Yeah.
So,
I can't believe you would do like it's just we could just cut that. They're just like both of them are
They're
just
just
kind
like
of
arguing.
going
And
at
it's
each
like, oh my god, I would not do that.
There was no one
I mean,
else.
I would
in
do
the
that.
room.
I didn't do it to you this time yet. I considered it. I didn't do it.
You know why that does not give me any reassurance, right? You understand why this is not reassuring to hear.
Well, I'm sorry that you're so difficult to work with.
I am not difficult to work with. I am the person who would probably be the one getting rid of the most ghosts if someone didn't go about
what about
creating
last
ghosts
time
by killing
when-
people.
the shadow
Okay,
of
first
the
of all-
of the episode starts to veil over, but you can still hear the voiceover of your argument as the shadow goes
Yeah,
over
I
for
got
commercial
one last
break.
line I need.
Okay, go
which
ahead.
is well, what about last time when you tried to get out your holy symbol and the holy water at the same time and got them tangled and then sprayed me in the face?
It's not my fault you winced.
Okay, we gotta close out. That's a perfect cut to the scene. Oh, like again, just the voiceover. That's all we hear for the exit
my
commercial.
God.
That was
I love
perfect.
it so much.
So, Reggie will unentangle herself from being with Hortense and the husband who has yet gone unintroduced. Poor thing. And will, because Timmy Stars is too low on the chain for Hortense. It's like probably not going to dish over anything under like a $100 plate of duck. So anyway, so she makes her way backstage to where she thinks Zen and Sage went, and is just following now the
sound
of the arguing. Correct.
Yeah.
And then she'll pause outside of the prop room door and sigh. And as soon as she hears the ending line, she will knock and go, "Are you done yet?"
See, now we've attracted an audience. This is why.
Oh my
you
god,
are
it's just
impossible
Reggie.
to investigate with. If Reggie heard us, other people could have heard us. We're supposed
Clearly
to be
no one did.
inconspicuous.
Maybe you should calm down a little bit and your blood pressure wouldn't be such a problem.
My
Reggie-
blood pressure is fine.
Reggie will open the door
Uh-huh.
at this point and say, "You two are lucky that it's just me out here, but to be honest, I mean, like, all these actors are probably thinking you're rehearsing like one of the more conflicted parts of the play." Goodness.
All the conflict is because we have Zenaida here, obviously. I would just be fine if she weren't throwing a wrench at every plan and throwing boxes at my head.
First of all, your plans are stupid. Second of all, I did not throw that box on your head. I should have, though.
All right. I'm going to separate you two. My goodness, it's like being in
Physically.
in being like in the middle of a kindergarten. Oh my goodness. Did we send you back to primary school? Why do I sound like an old teacher?
Just a side effect of hanging out with Sage too much, obviously.
Oh, speaking of side effects, did you have a little incident earlier? I suddenly found myself
with the English.
Did you now? I thought it was just me.
Oh yeah, great flavor for argument.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it's sort of how the argument started because she must have triggered something that made us all speak like we were out of an old book.
Okay, you were the one who picked something up, immediately almost got concussed, and then probably triggered this. So I'd say it's on you this time.
May I suggest either a trip to me? No, you know what? I'm going to send one of you out to do it because I don't think I can trust you two by yourselves. So, whoever wants to do it, we need to get coffee. Coffee right now. Who wants to go to Timmy's Stars? I will do the order on her phone
so
app.
Zen and Sage are staring each other down.
And I will have
I need the fresh air. I am so done with this. I need the fresh air.
Fine. It's
Good.
done.
We should have hired you as an intern anyway, probably.
Please, we all know I'm far more useful than you.
Believe me, my cousin has a bit of a tight hold on the reins on that sort of thing. So yes, she'd probably put you through a more rigorous process than she put me through, and it has nothing to do with nepotism. I guarantee it. Anywho, there is the order ready in 3 minutes, and it's right next door. So you know our orders, Zen. I mean, please try to get them back intact. I think the last time you went to get our order, they were half filled with coffee. And if I remember correctly, the explanation was that you got in a little tiff, little faff on the way back.
I can't help it if people pick fights with me.
And the concept of being the bigger person is just not in your dictionary, is it?
Well, see, if I were trying to be a bigger person, I think I'd end up a bobblehead like you. I think I'm better off as is.
Zen, how about getting us that coffee? It's probably ready right now. Ding! And she makes the ding sound. It's not the app.
Zen's just gonna turn as swiftly as possible and just wave you guys off as she just leaves.
Sage, and
Can't believe her sometimes.
And Sage, Reggie will put her arm pointedly in yours, and we shall go to the next location. So, please draw a location card. Yes.
That is a 5 on location.
Okay.
And I need to stop piling these. A 4 on paranormal.
Okay.
Can't wait.
So 5 hearts, 4 paranormal. Okay, great. All right, so 5. We find ourselves, since we're kind of backstage already with the prop room, we find ourselves wandering into the Actors Lounge. The Actors Lounge is a big room full of mismatched chairs where actors can relax, read, or chat while they're waiting for their scene. Now, can an NPC card also be drawn?
Sure.
And then
that is.
We didn't do my haunting, guys.
Oh, we can save that. We can
save it for end of session.
Or do you want to do? If you want to do it now, we can do it. We can totally do it now before we go into the Actors Lounge.
So I'll read you the haunting, and you guys can tell me.
Okay.
Narrate a scene in which someone confesses their sins to you. If it's a fellow investigator, they take the condition guilt-free. If not, the character may be introduced as an NPC in any mystery from now on.
The whole time I was writing guilt-free, I kept thinking duty-free.
Totally different things. Okay. You know what? This actually might be the move is that the person that you're with, or that the character that's confessing the sins gets guilt-free, or how does that work?
Yeah. Or it can be an NPC.
Zen has never confessed anything in her life, and she's definitely not doing it to Sage.
I would say, okay,
Yeah,
hold
I was
on.
going to go for the NPCs. So that was fine.
I can't see this. I mean, yeah, if you want to, okay, I pictured this, right? So, if you want to narrate the personal haunting now, then one of the actors or NPCs that we meet in the actors' lounge will be the one that confessed their sins.
Oh, perfect. I've got the NPC ready.
Okay, so go ahead.
Oh, wait, so you'll have to give me,
Yeah, give a name.
Okay.
Yeah,
Matt Capelli.
And can you give me like
Okay,
few words about him?
He's like 20 something and young, very ambitious, and very much believes that his way is the best way, which is improvising in the middle of a show all the time, permanently.
Okay.
Seems pretentious-ish.
So yeah, okay. So I'm going to say that at some point, Matt was at whatever religious institution that Sage follows, because and he was like the one confessing to Sage, and he was all like, "Lord bless me, I have sinned and everything," and he basically told this very dramatic story of how he because he is like and sort of an up and coming actor, right? He at some point probably did not, well, not probably, but yeah, he at some point his family, which does not live in, what town are we in?
Somewhere. We did not name it.
Who does not live in this town and does not live here, doesn't know much about his success or whatever. He kind of left his family behind, but they sent him a request for money because one of them was grievously sick. And he didn't, not because he didn't have the money, but just because he didn't want to. And a very close family member of him, let's say his sister, died because they literally did not get the medical help they needed. And and he's very guilty about it.
Oh, Capelli, buddy. This is going to be great.
If it was a little dark, it's because I'm used to between paint the scenes. I do apologize.
That's okay, because I mean, like,
we do.
Yeah, it colors a lot of stuff. So I mean, like, if it goes a little bit dark and this person's introduces an NPC later, that's perfectly fine, because I mean the mystery that
now he has a backstory.
Now he's a backstory, and it's like there's if I write the mystery that I intend for paranormal, possibly companioning into something for Brindlewood Bay, it's gonna go a little bit more dark for sure. So, and it's gonna need like more investigators than just the usual core. So, because it'll be on location. So a sweeps week. Anywho, sorry, a little tangent there. Okay, so now we find ourselves in the actors' lounge, and paint the scene. The actors have a good luck ritual that involves leaving certain objects at a small makeshift shrine in one corner of the lounge. What do they leave there? So, I think that the actors will leave something symbolizing or something from their character at this shrine before every show. So they leave it there for the show, and then they will like pick it back up again after the show is done. And then that's their ritual. So I mean, like, this way it's kind of like saving a part of their character in a sacred place, and then when they're done with the show, then they can take it in peace and then carry it with them.
Yeah.
Do I also answer this? Because Zen's not on scene.
Yeah, I mean, I would say this is something that you could everybody pitches into. I mean, if it's paint the scene, just generally think, unless it's directed to one particular character, then everybody answers once.
Cool. So ever since the Brian thing started, people have been wanting to also appease him so he doesn't fuck up their show. And so it's become tradition to always leave some food, but it has to be very specific. It cannot be packaged. It has to be freshly made, i.e. something you have made. There has to be at least enough of it to serve one full person. And it can't be eaten until the show is completely over, after which they usually have a potluck.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I am going to say they leave, sort of tying a little bit into a part of their character. Whatever, they probably leave like a tiny lock of hair of their character. So if it's just their own hair styled or something, they probably leave like a tiny lock. But if it's like a wig, maybe, chip off a bit of that or an extension or whatever it may be. Just sort of leaves. There's lots of hair, food, and some other symbols and things like that, trinkets and probably stuff like that, just there in this corner.
All right, I'm gonna say that there's probably like a couple of actors here. So if there's more than the one person on that list, if there's like if they could be actors, I don't know if they can be or not. Besides Matt Capelli, of course, who we see here. We can talk to them, Sage, or we can see if we can surreptitiously investigate the room, as they're kind of coming in and out. What would you like to do? And I'll say what I'll be doing.
I think talking to the actors is a good idea.
You can definitely talk to Matt because you know him now. I mean.
Oh yeah, that's also true. Yeah, I'm just. Yeah. I think talking to the people who work here probably deal with Brian and or fake Brian is probably a good idea. Get to know what this ghost or not ghost wants.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. And then while you're doing that, then Reggie will kind of surreptitiously edge around, take a look around, and investigate that way. Okay, so let's do your possible conversation with Matt and maybe a couple of others, and then see what you find out from there. So I think we need a clue card for... Yeah, let's just do one clue card and see if one can be edged into conversation and the other, like another clue from that card can be found. Okay, let's do it that way.
Right.
Okay, so what's the clue card?
Do you want me to roll?
Oh, well, roll
clue
first.
Card is a 3.
3. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll and see what you get.
What do I roll? Wits.
Yeah, wits, because you're thinking on your feet. You're conversing. Yeah.
Right.
Maybe an advantage because they do know Capelli.
Yes.
And Capelli is more likely to give information to them.
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay. That is a 7, just barely with the advantage.
Okay. So
you have affected me.
Yeah.
I ruin everything I touch. It's a
Goodness
skill.
so gracious. Okay, so yeah, Kavya, do you want to take this and be Matt? Yeah. And then working a clue.
Yeah, let me just go to the clues real quick so I can.
Yeah. You picked the 3 card, so.
I got it. Okay. And do you approach him?
I think I will. I will be like, I'll go up to him and be like, Matt Capelli, correct?
And he's currently making expressions to the mirror, trying to get them perfect. And he turns, and at first he looks a little annoyed at being interrupted, but then he notices it's you, and he says, "Oh, priest, what brings you here?"
Oh, I was just passing on by, and the owner is sort of a friend of mine. I was, as Sage is doing this, Sage is internally cringing a little because God, they hate lying. And then they're going to be like, I see you work here. Doesn't it scare you to be working at a place like, this? Very strange things about ghosts, poltergeists. Aren't you scared? The what was it, backstage Brian?
Oh no, Brian is a sort of partner to me. some actors are just here to have a good time and dilly-dally around, but I am here to perform, and Brian gets that. Sometimes I think I can hear him, and he agrees that Act 2 needs a big musical moment, but of course the director doesn't agree.
Right. Well,
While Sage is thinking about what they're trying to say, it's like Reggie like overhears this and pipes up while she's looking around, and she'll go, "But you do know that like the music for Crimson is set, so they're going to play what they're going to play in the pit, and if it's not what's in the music that the orchestra has, they can't quite keep up with you, as brilliant as you probably are." And
it's a very simple arrangement, and I've made sure that they know it. They'll be able to switch. It'll be fine.
Won't they defend
Everyone
the
should know how to improv.
True, but don't you think that would offend the composer and the writer?
Well, artist liberty, performer's liberty, and now he doesn't like that Reggie's constantly questioning him, so he's going to kind of pointedly turn back to Sage and say, well, there is one thing, and kind of lean in.
And Sage is going to be like, well, yes, I do believe in artist liberty. Of course. And yes, what is that thing you're talking about?
So he leans in and he says, sorry, there's a power cut. The lighting's going to just be wrecked. He leans in and he says, well, you see, I found this in my drawer the other day. I think Brian is trying to tell me something, but I don't think this is the route for me to take. And he hands it to you. And when you look at it later, or if you look at it now, it's a small bottle of arsenic.
Oh, that I am very glad that is not the route you are taking, Matt. I am so proud of you for not doing that, for thinking about the consequences of your actions before you take them. I think it shows a real development in your character, and like I feel like Sage is going to be condescending about this without meaning to be. Like they're genuinely shocked for a second, and then they're like, yeah, I'm actually glad that you didn't, kill somebody. But the way they're saying it is probably coming off as kind of condescending to Matt.
Super patronizing, yeah. But obviously Matt doesn't think it's patronizing because he believes in you. And so as you're saying this, because we need a complication, I have a paranormal event ready. And so you're saying this, and near the end, you realize that Matt isn't paying attention to you. He's kind of looking past you. And do you turn?
Yeah.
Okay. And behind you, just floating in the air, is a dagger. It's just floating there. It doesn't seem to be moving to attack or anything, and its handle is facing you.
Oh, the handle is facing me. Okay. Not the blade. I see.
No.
I am going to turn to Reggie, look a tiny bit scared, and then slowly reach to grab the handle. See if I can do that.
I'm not sure which direction I want to take this because.
Well,
okay, I have an idea, but so I'll do it, and if it doesn't work, we can retcon it.
Okay, but how about let's do Reggie's investigation after she
before
gets ignored by Matt, and then kind of intersperse the two. All right, so hold on.
Got it.
Discovery again, because it's she's wandering around, she's kind of seeing what she can see and stuff, and she'll actually do a physical thing, she'll kind of move over some pillows maybe, or kick a chair out of the way a little bit, and such.
Aggressively kicks chair.
Well, I mean. I don't know what's going on with me today. I'm gonna have to put these dice in a treasured bowl or something, because 2 6s. So basically, okay, 11, but still, damn, holy cow.
Yeah. Okay.
What happened here is Kavya took all the bad luck, distributed it to me, and then Matt's got all the good luck. That's what happened here.
Oops.
We'll see.
Yeah, so that's one clue, right? 11?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're moving around, you're kicking things over, being generally more aggressive than you should be in a place that actors are trying to relax. And as you're going through, one of the mirrors no one is using, and it kind of draws your attention because it doesn't have the standard makeup setup on it, the makeup, and there's just a pile of paper on it, and it's just loose pages of an extremely gory horror movie script. And well, they're not doing a horror movie, they're doing a action play.
An action musical, which is
yeah, absolutely. So I mean, like, you know, she's just even looking at the title, and just like, you know, if the camera was on Reggie's face, it would basically be like you see the script pages that she picks up, and then, like, you know, it pulls down and her eyes are like wide and her mouth is agog. You know? And so then, like, she hears Sage, you know, stop, and it's like, it just sounds weird, and she turns and looks and sees the dagger.
Yep,
sees
Sage is reaching to grab.
Okay, and it's like
slowly, very carefully, like gingerly.
Right,
it doesn't
like,
move as you approach it. Mm-hmm. Is she recording it for TikTok? Is that?
Yeah, because basically, like, the script goes down, the camera comes up.
yeah.
It's perfect. So it doesn't move at all as you reach out to it. It is waiting for you. And as you grab it, it settles comfortingly into your hand. And you feel like you need to use this. You don't know how, but you need to use this dagger.
Reggie will, you know, like, as she's holding the camera and recording this, she will go, Sage, what are you going to do with that dagger?
And Sage is going to say, sort of semi out loud, but mostly to themselves, I will not be led into violence. And then just sort of very violently.
Please don't fling the dagger.
No, just very violently shoves it into their backpack. Like, in the most, like, almost stabs the backpack if it's zip or an open.
Oh wait,
I
got a great
no.
here.
I already got like the complication. It's like, you hear, as soon as you do that, you hear,
oh no,
the backpack automatically goes all soaking wet, and Reggie's like, "Ooh,
the holy water!"
And that was the water.
Oh god.
Allah. If there wasn't a complication, my punchline was that it was a prop knife, so they try to stab their bag and it just...
Oh my god.
This is amazing.
No. Yeah. That's...
Zen would have enjoyed this so much.
And then we're gonna cut to you in a minute, but I mean, so, and then Reggie pulls down her phone and just... We're going to need to stop off at a church in a few, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Right after.
We need coffee. We'll go get our coffees from Zen, and we'll go take a little trip before resuming our investigation, for sure. And this is where we cut to, and it's like we'll do like a title card with like some sing-songy, like, whistle music or something like that in the background, and it'll say, and it's Zen's trip to pick up coffee, or whatever you want to have it say, innocuously.
Zen's coffee
in colorful
trip.
letters. Yes, Zen's coffee pickup in colorful letters. And
behind this, we just see Zen in all dark clothing, kind of skulking towards the coffee place.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, and so, did you put this? Did you do this to me, or did Amanda for one of the last games? It's like, so how do they get the name wrong? Like, for the order.
That was not me.
Okay, so then that was Amanda. So, but basically, how do they get the name wrong? It would be under Reggie, because just like Ronnie, it's like, you know, she would have the usual order for everybody under the app. How do they get it wrong? I mean, again, it's digital, for Christ's sake. It's not like it's like spoken. It's not like it's written. You know, it's verbal.
I think because of the speed with which Reggie did it, the autocorrect kicked in, and instead of Regina, it's Regal.
Oh God. Okay, I was
Well,
going for
that's so
Regina, but
much
this is
better.
yours.
That's so much better. Absolutely. Oh my.
Oh my
Do
God.
you take a picture of that and like, send it to Reggie?
Of course not.
Of course. Damn it! She'd be
But
so
Reggie's gonna
pissed.
see it. Reggie's gonna see it anyway, right? It'll be
Yeah.
on
No, I know,
the-
but I mean,
Like when it comes.
she's gonna be like, why didn't you take a picture and send it to me? This is brilliant. Absolutely
It's a
brilliant.
waste of time.
There's no waste of time for content. Oh, fine.
Your metaism.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Anyway, so we meet you to get said coffees, and just for funsies, because we do this all the time. What is Sage's and Zen's, and what are their usual coffee orders?
Oh, that's a good question. Sage doesn't get coffee at Timmy's.
I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah. Oh God, what
They get? What they get is basically this giant concoction of like pure vanilla ice cream, vanilla whipped cream, milk thing, and it's just like basically this large, and it's just a white it's just a white foaming thing, and it's just like it's got whipped cream on top, and it's just basically vanilla shake but better with whipped cream and ice cream and everything, and there is no coffee whatsoever in it.
It's their standard Starbucks order.
Well,
that's why I said I was gonna kill them.
You're gonna see that, like, you can stretch your imagination a little bit when we hit late night Kate's, but like we're not there yet. So anyway.
About the whipped cream, by the way, Zen has taken. You can see a little divot where Zen has just taken a fingerful, not even a spoon, a fingerful of it.
Yikes! Yikes!
I'm gonna find that. I'm gonna see that. Stare at Zen, take a deep breath, and say,
"There's even a little bit of whipped cream on Zen's mouth."
Basically, like Reggie's gonna like reach out and see that as well, and then reach out to Sage and say, "Remember, forgiveness.
I'm not going to be led
Forgiveness.
to violence. I am fine.
Forgiveness. It's all right.
I'm fine.
Yes, it's fine. It's fine."
And Zen is such a piece of shit. I love it.
And Reggie's like, actually, like, it's funny because it's like, as Ronnie is like, all about the coffee and like, getting coffee for everybody else. Reggie is actually going to be more of like the iced tea lemonade drinker, and like, I mean, I know this is like totally sinful. It's like she's British, but yet she doesn't like drink the tea from Timmy's. But anyway, she will order the iced tea lemonade, like, so it's like the passion iced tea with like, pulpy lemonade in it with lots of ice.
And
Which
now I
is
can
a
tell you
no-no,
how Zen defaced this.
But yeah, okay, that's fine. Go ahead. And then she and that's when she tags you on the, like, look at this, it says Regal on it. How beautiful is that? That is gorgeous. My goodness.
You should really turn your autocorrect off. It is not doing you any favors.
I think in this case it is.
So Zen borrowed the caramel drizzle from the person behind the counter. And on top of your lemonade is something unsavory just written on top with caramel drizzle.
On top of the top or in the lemonade?
In the lemonade.
And then she will see, well, she's gushing over the Regal part.
And then she notices.
And then she knows, Zen, what in the hell is this floating in my iced tea lemonade? Eh?
Well, workers mess these things up sometimes.
I'm pretty sure that they know not to put caramel in the top of this drink.
Well, it's not like I have access to the caramel.
Yes. Not that you have access. Sure. Like that's ever stopped you before. She uses the straw to fish it out and just kind of like flick it in the street. She doesn't really care either. She just wants to get it the fuck out of her drink. She flicks it out. Narrowly missing a little old lady, in the street. Whoops, sorry. Oh, sorry. And then she puts her straw back and drinks.
You get an advantage on the next roll because Sage is pissed at Zen for this whole debacle, but you have handled it with relative dignity and you've sort of forgiven her and you've helped Sage with forgiveness. So I shall bless you.
Bestow.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you so much.
So Zen's drink, which is not defaced, obviously, is so it's really big and has like one of those clear tops, but half of it is whipped cream. The coffee is like half of the cup, and it's this concoction of a mocha frappuccino with extra hazelnut pumps in, and yeah.
I actually have to try that. Not the half whipped cream.
Not the whipped cream.
But everything else. It's like, that sounds delicious. Holy cow. All right. Fabulous. So we have a relatively relaxing drink break before we head back into the theater. Jesus. Let's take a look at what we have for clues so far. We have actually 7 clues. Now, we can try to see if we want to theorize at this juncture, or if we can't think of any way to tie this shit together to at least get the complexity level, then we can try to investigate a little bit more. So let's look at the clues. Right now we have the country's most haunted playhouse's book, wilted discarded bouquet of roses, a photo of cast and crew with eyes crossed out, safety harness woefully torn up, director, well, I put this in there, so that's why there's 7. Director and Ms. Palmer dalliance, small bottle of arsenic, and loose pages of an extremely gory horror movie. Am I missing anything, for 1? And then 2, do we want to investigate more, or do we want to try to figure out how to make sense of this?
I have an excellent idea to make sense of it, and I think that's everything.
Okay, all right. I mean, you don't have to, because we only have to meet up to 6, but, okay. Let's hear it.
Okay, so the director and Miss Palmer are having a dalliance. However, there is another actor who is in love with the director. And so the wilted roses are from the actor. The director clearly did not care for them. And because of that, Miss Palmer is an actress, right? My thing hinges on it.
She's
perfect. Okay. So and this person is trying to sabotage Miss Palmer, hence the torn up harness, and planted the small bottle of arsenic so that later they could poison Miss Palmer and pin it on Capelli, because, well, they don't really like Capelli either. And that's all I can incorporate so far.
That's how many? Right, lovely. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
And we don't have to go with that theory. So if we think we want to add a little bit more to just kind of help contextualize.
Yeah, I was going to go in a similar but slightly different direction of there is another actor who is not in love with the director, but another actor who wanted the lead and had the lead and is now no longer in the play because of 2 reasons. One is that, the fact that these 2 are having a dalliance, and the second one is that the rest of the cast didn't seem to like this person very much, this new person. So they have the wilted discarded bouquet of roses was, of course, a gift from a gift to actually this person, and since this person left, they just take the roses with them, blah blah blah. And safety harness, they're pissed, so they're trying to injure the current lead, the current cast and crew. The dalliance rumor, of course, is covered, and the arsenic again is, like Kavya said, trying to pin it on someone else and just make it a little easier on themselves to get away with things. And the one more thing I wanted,
photo thing you can easily
the photo thing, yeah, and they're really, really mad at the rest of the cast and crew because they kind of blame them as well for this whole thing. So yeah, that's 5. And
I want to say that, like, regardless of the, like, whether they want to hate the cast and crew or, like, are pissed off about the dalliance part, like, doesn't matter, like, how deep you want to drill down.
yeah,
I think the loose pages of the extremely gory horror movie are having to do with somebody, either one of the suspects or, like, somehow tying it into, like, Matt Capelli, where they're going to pin it on Matt Capelli because he's reading for this movie. And he's like, he's got, or he,
And
like,
he's known for improv.
He's known for improv, and so, like, they're like, they're gonna pin on him because they hate his guts. They're hoping he gets this movie, so then this way.
yeah, we could say that some of the incidents that have happened have been like from sort of this horror movie or mimicking.
Yeah. Contextually,
So,
for
yeah.
sure. And then,
Yeah.
like, this is just peripheral, so we may not be able to put it in, but the houses, the most haunted playhouses are just like an after effect or a side effect of doing all this crap. Because
I thought that was more like the director said that he was Brian, right? I think that's more the director doing research on like what would normally go down.
Yeah. So that doesn't fit in with this current theory. So if we want to run with that, we would roll a straight roll. Yeah.
Okay. I should not be rolling. Just putting them out there.
Yeah, I think Matt should be rolling. I do have first wing.
This is the first time someone's been like actually asking me to do it. Oh my god, it's so thrilling. Okay.
First.
Okay, that is an 8. So we will see if we are correct, but there's going to be complication.
Always a complication.
Always a complication. So what I would suggest is, like, for this complication, let's draw, for funsies, let's draw a paranormal event. Yeah, paranormal event and an NPC, at least one NPC card, and we'll just use whatever NPCs on it.
Paranormal event is a 6, and NPC is a 2.
Ooh, this is cool. All right, great. So
paranormal events are great.
Okay, so so how we're gonna lead in is, like, we're back from our drink break. We wander back into the theater, into the Northlake after discussing all this. And Courtney Van Nuys, the stage manager, comes out. She's a big woman. She's, like, so cheerful. She's got her headset. She's got like no nonsense clothes because she's got to be all over the damn place. So again, never without her headset and copy of the script. So she's got that in hand and she's kind of like slapping it. And she knows about Backstage Brian and Preston Burke maintaining the fake haunting. So she's like, she to us, like, she meets us like, "Hey y'all, you must be the exterminators that Mr. Burke sent. I have 3 minutes and 12 seconds to talk. So what can I do for you?" Tap 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 on her watch. Well, Reggie will pipe up and say, "It's like, I think we have a theory about what's going on."
And before we give you our theory, was there someone else who was maybe previously being considered for the lead role, or someone who was cut from the show, something like that?
Yeah, I think so, because I was actually not there for the casting. I am just here to make sure that everything goes smoothly. And she's looking at all of us pointedly about smoothly. But just, why do you think it's not that person has something to do with this? I haven't seen anybody, but that doesn't necessarily mean that, free reign, I guess. Coming in and out and stuff. Yeah.
Classic case of vindictive jealousy and spite. Always assume the worst in people.
Yeah. That kind of like describes like Peter King. I think he wasn't like around very much. Well, I should say he was, but then he wasn't, because it's like, he I don't know why we didn't keep him, to be honest. He was so good in terms of like just covering and doing everything. And then, like, we got Matt Capelli, who just does anything he wants, if you know what I mean. Oh my goodness. So, well,
Zen is smiling vindictively and says she's not trying to be quiet or anything, but she's not yelling it either. And she's like, well, I mean, doesn't it make sense for Palmer to take the lead when she and the director are, well, together?
Oh, you know about that, huh?
Who doesn't?
That's true. That's true. It's like, okay. All right. It looks like our 3 minutes and 12 seconds is up. So it's like, if you want to, I don't know, like, kind of cage the perpetrator in our midst and stuff, like whatever the saying goes, I forget. Please do so. But I mean, again, we have a schedule to keep. So, yes, please beard the lion in its den, and don't take any don't take any weird advice from strangers, eh? And she wanders off to try to corral the actors for this next rehearsal scene.
I think this is the perfect place for that paranormal event.
Sure.
So we're kind of just left here standing there, and we're about to go towards, backstage. And so there are a bunch of curtains just lining the walls as a sort of soundproofing thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we, from the corner of one of our eyes or all of our eyes, someone sees this. There's a hulking headless figure that ducks behind one of the curtains, and then we all hear just the distant echoing sounds of hoofbeats.
Goodness.
Well then.
Spooky hollow much? Goodness.
Smoke and mirrors.
Oh. You heard it too?
Hard not to.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, I don't believe that there's a horse in this play at all. Goodness.
No.
Right.
I do think that after we deal with whoever is this Peter person, this theater could maybe use an exorcism anyway.
How do you know that wasn't Peter just now trying to scare us off?
Oh, that is a good point.
That is a very
For
good point.
once, Zenaida, I will give you the benefit of this.
You should do it more often.
Right.
I'm
stop
very
off.
trustworthy.
And she separates the two, like Reggie separates the two. You do realize that you couldn't do it anyway because it's like you still need to go to a church nearby and get some more holy water.
Oh yes, that stupid dagger.
I'm not giving you that protein shake bottle of mine. Last time that we had this, you never gave it back.
Zen
is my protein.
Zen is just looking back at Sage and just now realizing, oh, is that why your backpack's wet? Had a little incident with our holy water, did we? Again.
It was a dagger that actually reminded me of you. And no, I am not going to give it to you.
I'm so touched that you were reminded of me. Like, it's so nice to know I'm always on your mind.
While it's wonderful that you two are getting along so splendidly, I think we should go chase our perpetrator to make sure that we can solve this once and for all. Eh?
Yeah.
So what Reggie will do is now jump where we saw the hulking headless figure thing, and then try to chase after them. Sure. So we're gonna go backstage. What is this?
I thought we were drawing locations for a new place.
No, that's fine. That's fine because we can totally. Let's go ahead and do that. 3.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So, where this leads is to some staircases, towards the side and the back, which leads to the box seats. This hallway leads to the private viewing boxes, all of which are closed and presumably empty. Everything here is considerably lusher than it is for the rest of the audience. So, as she's racing up and past, Reggie's starting to notice her footfalls being more quiet and more muffled because the carpet is actually feeling more plush as she finds these stairs and this hallway where it's just it's like going from a newly mowed lawn to something that is on a golf course or something with the cush that's underneath her feet. Paint the scene. The door to box 5 has a handwritten label. Brian's box, do not disturb. What sound do you hear which inspires you to investigate? So, I mean, like, again, Reggie's pounding after this person, or I should say, like, softly footfalling because of the cush. And she can hear, like, some stumbling noises or something, some kind of disturbance, because the door to box 5 looks like it was recently opened. And
just slightly ajar.
Yeah, like they didn't have a chance to close it. And she bursts in there to look, and it, again, very plush, very, very soft, smooth, like, very cushy, soft looking carpet. Like if you could sleep on it, you would, because it's that comfortable looking. And then the seats themselves, like there's about 4 of them in the box with like an actual table in front of them, and then like being able to see into over into the stage. And she's looking around, she doesn't see anything, but there's no lights. And then she's trying to hit the wall and seeing if there's like a light switch or something. And then she kind of like ducks her head back outside of the box and says, "Where the hell are you two? Goodness. Where the hell are you two?"
They were chasing Reggie, but Reggie's a little too fast from all the working out.
Yeah.
So they finally managed to get there. And
Sage is winded at this point for sure. Sage is not someone who exercises and gets.
Oh God. And
Zen is pretending she's not winded because she's a criminal. She's used to this. You have to put on a show and act like you're not affected.
Mm-hmm.
Reggie's looking at Sage and just going, "You need to come with me to the gym. It's like, it'll be so good for you. Absolutely."
Yeah, Sage, go to the gym more.
You too, Zen. It's not just her. Them, sorry.
I get my workouts in other ways.
Like killing people and threatening people.
I was actually going to go with the...
For all you know, I haven't killed someone.
I was thinking just the lifting lay and the roof walk, but okay. Fine.
Speaking of killers, what looks at Zen, then looks back at Reggie. Where's our friend?
I don't know.
So for the paint the scene, I have my answer. Yeah. And so from the same door, Zen hears clattering as if something metal is falling and like hitting itself, and then the sound of a muffled gunshot, but it doesn't sound like a real gun. Those props are gonna come back and haunt us.
Nice.
Where's that coming from? I mean, there's no one in this box. Where is that?
Are you sure?
Yes.
And now, as we're trying to figure this out, paranormal activity, we hear whistling. We're not just around, and this is really wrong because superstition dictates that actors never whistle on before a show. It says backstage. I'm just editing that to before a show.
All right, that's coming from somewhere. This is ridiculous. That person did not just disappear.
Yeah, no such thing as disappearing.
If I can punch it, it's not that supernatural. Trust me.
I've seen you punch through a ghost.
I suppose. She's trying to look humble, but she's like kind of pleased with herself. It's like, well, the problem is I can't hold a camera and while I'm doing the punching, it doesn't look right. Then they accuse me of doctoring up the film. So, Anyway, I think there's something around here working with this Peter King or something.
I have an idea.
Okay.
Meta. Okay. So my one other move is I have advantage to sneak/hide. Mm-hmm. So can I say that Zen thinks it's coming from a certain direction, and so she's trying to quietly sneak up to it so the person doesn't realize and run from there?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Okay, go for it. So Zen just holds a finger up to her mouth, and then she pulls out her should be her knife. She pulls out her garrote, and
oh no, I completely forgot something.
Oh no.
Mads' next roll was supposed to be advantage, which was the threat roll. I mean, the theorize roll.
Oh,
And
damn it.
I remember this now.
Oh,
We all forgot.
we all
Oh,
forgot.
no.
Shit.
Okay, whatever
It's fine.
next roll you make from now
Take
on, like
advantage.
risky move or whatever, take
Yeah.
advantage.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine.
So then she's gonna pull out her garrote, not her knives, and kind of hold it between her hands and slowly sneak up to where she thinks she hears the whistling from.
Okay.
Risk move?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Wait, what do you think is going to go
So,
wrong?
yeah, exactly. I'm scared that this person is going to hear me before I approach them and use that lovely air gun to, well, it won't kill me, but it'll definitely surprise me. And depending on how close we are, it will rupture my eardrums a little.
And it's so much worse than that. They're actually going to be that close or too close, and then they will kill you with said gun.
Fun.
And
Okay,
also,
let's go.
like, injure Reggie and Sage in the process of getting away.
Oh boy, everyone's getting wrecked. Okay, so that's with advantage.
Yes.
Is that? Can I say that's with wits?
Yes, because you're acting very quickly, stealthily but quickly. Yeah.
That is a 4 + 5 + 1. That's a 10.
10!
Woo!
Yay,
My
Kavya!
first successful roll today.
Yay! And where it's important. It's important.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Zen always pulls through.
Okay. So what does this look like?
Okay. So she goes towards it. It's kind of it's one of the other boxes, kind of adjacent to box 5,
Yeah.
which is why we thought it was coming from box 5.
Gotcha.
And she so she sneaks up to the door, kind of puts her ear to it to kind of make sure it's someone's in there, and realizing that they are, she slams the door open, rushes in, and garrotes the person. So she's holding this person against her, like with the garrote around their throat.
Ooh.
Found them.
And then Reggie and Sage will come, I'm sure, to like a little bit slower. And it's like, you got this.
Oh yeah, I got this.
And then it
Sage,
is.
we've talked about this.
Sage,
Wow.
Sage, we've talked about this.
Sorry, Zen, we've talked about this.
And Zen is ignoring you and leaning down to murmur into this person's ear, and we see their face progressively becoming whiter as Zen continues to talk.
Someone should describe what this person looks like and his wedding and stuff like
Dibs not.
Okay, so basically, like this Peter King is, it's like a handsome dude, and the way that Zen has him, it's like it's hard to tell because like his face is turned away, but I mean you can see him, Zen. He's like
Actually, I'd actually say that he'd be facing you guys.
Okay.
Zen is holding him such that back to.
Okay, got it. So, yeah, we can see his face. It's like a relatively handsome face. It's like he's looking like he's like a little bit like, losing some air there. But I mean, like he's built. But I mean, because of the way Zen has him, he's just kind of like, a bit powerless at this point. And then Reggie goes, it's like, Zen, like, relax a little, eh? I mean, we need to deliver him to the authorities. It's nice to know that
And
this is quite,
Zen appears to have been finished talking and just kind of and then a little louder says, "Does that make sense, Peter?"
Peter's probably going to. I'll take Peter for a minute.
Yeah, thanks.
He's probably going to just sort of sputter and choke and just like he's not.
Oh yeah, I forgot
capable
about
of
that. And she
saying
loosens it a little bit.
And he's just like, who the fuck are you people?
Tightens it again.
Oh my god.
There was one answer she wanted and she didn't get it.
I think from what we've described of him, he's probably not the kind of person who's gonna like give you a straight answer immediately.
Yeah. I mean, unless we
that brings Zen a lot of joy. As you know.
It brings Sage a lot of pain.
But anyway, I mean, so like Reggie will tell Zen, relax. Okay, we need to get him to the authorities.
Okay, fine, but I just want a straight answer out of him. And now she's kind of maneuvering the garrote so she can hold it with one hand, and she reaches in and she pulls out a knife and then takes off the garrote and now is holding a knife, and she says, "So, Peter, that thing we talked about, how do you feel about it now?"
Wait, what was the thing that you talked about?
So it was her murmuring in his ear and basically threatening the ever-living hell out of him. Very
Unless he
graphically.
did what? Unless what is the...
Unless he stopped doing this and also paid a small fee to Zen.
Zen personally. He's like,
Yeah.
yes, okay, I'll just don't take me to police. It was supposed to be a couple of pranks. Just don't. I'll do whatever you want, you guys.
Yeah, you better.
And Sage is probably like also very like Sage is probably like glaring daggers at Zen. Like what did you tell this poor man? Like I know he's the villain, but also
What have you done?
yeah,
Yeah, Zen is never gonna get a blessing from Sage.
it's just not happening.
So Preston Burke at this point, and maybe a couple of the other actors like that aren't like involved in the play, will come up and discover us, and then we can tell them the story of what is going on with this person, and Preston's like, oh, well, at least it wasn't like true ghost, right? It's like backstage Brian's just like afoot, and we don't have to worry about that. Oh, okay. I see. Well, thank you very much for your services, and I think that we can comp some tickets to the show for opening night tonight. Wouldn't that be lovely?
Oh, question. So we established that Zen had been going to this, so it wouldn't be opening night, would it? It would be some ways.
Oh no, well, I mean, like I thought we established that Zen goes to the theater itself, like not necessarily this particular show.
But we also said that she was familiar with the play because she had been. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe not this opening night. Maybe
So
it's
maybe closing night.
It's
a big
like
night.
The final performance. So
Zen is just sniggering into her hand, the one that she's not holding the knife with.
The knife with
and then Reggie's like, but there is the still the matter of our payment. We still get paid, regardless. We've caught your perpetrator. And Preston's spluttering a little bit. It's like, oh, I thought the comp tickets were going to be enough. Do seem to be in a bit of difficulty. With other vendors and other services that maybe a wee bit behind. I mean, like now he's not quite so posh, not quite so confident.
He's flustered.
Yeah, just a little bit. And
So
and then Reggie is like raising up to her full height, which is not
imposing.
Imposing. And I think that my cousin would like to hear about your difficulties in meeting the fee that was agreed upon via contract. And I may also have some things to crack say about it as well.
Perfect.
And then
Zen is going to move from holding knife to Peter's throat to having him in a chokehold, so bringing her face closer so it's like in front, and then she's playing with the knife with the other hand and being like, "Are you sure you can't pay?"
Sage is very uncomfortably just shifting. Like I realize in retrospect, I'm in a party with basically two fighter type people, and I am just.
And one of them is a criminal, so.
Yeah.
Formed.
And then Reggie will just finalize this by also saying, it's like, and the matter of backstage Brian, I mean, we have found out certain things about him that perhaps you might
Everyone
find
should really
interest.
know.
Yeah. But even more so because, not only that, we all know about backstage Brian, but, certain things have happened that could be in terms of a lawsuit. The actors union may be a little bit concerned about it. So, yeah, I think we can hold some things against Preston to make him cough up some payment. So
Zen loves holding things against people.
Yeah. So I mean, between all that and Zen also knowing about this Hook guy, yeah, I think we can definitely squeeze some payment out of Preston Burke. So the way we close this out is that, Michael does go. I'm not Michael. I'm saying that because Michael, in our core game, played Peter King in the previous iteration of this playthrough. So that's why I'm getting all confused. Anyway, Peter is handed over to the authorities for all the chicanery that he caused, and then the three of us will, amidst still some bickering between Zen and Sage, we will find. They never stop. Yeah, they never stop. We will find, after all the hubbub is done and what have you, and then we do kind of sit through a showing of Crimson, which, I mean, Reggie's like all over that. It's like, she's like, she pulls on the t-shirt, the merch t-shirt that she bought gladly, and then she'll, like, of course, take a selfie with it, or like, dance in a TikTok video for it. And we afterwards, like, as our epilogue, will go to Late Night Kate's. And as recalled from other episodes of this series, Late Night Kate's is an ice cream shop, an ice cream cafe that is open late at night to clientele that may have the craving for ice cream of all sorts. Sundaes, parfaits, shakes, what have you. Any kind of concoction that you think you can imagine, and maybe even more so, can be found at Late Night Kate's. And Late Night Kate's is everywhere and anywhere.
Just like Timmy Stars.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Timmy Stars is ubiquitous in the fact that it's a chain.
Franchise.
Late Night Kate's is its own place.
Supernatural place, probably.
As Astrea knows, as Ronnie knows, as Reggie definitely knows, and you two may or may not be familiar with it, but we're going to go in and establishing question, or paint the scene, I should say. What, given your personalities, do you find about Late Night Kate's that gives you pause? And what is your ice cream order? So you don't have to answer both of them at the same time. I mean, you can address one and then the other.
Eirnar's gonna hate me for this. So Zen's ice cream order is 2 scoops, 1 vinegar flavored and 1 whiskey flavored. It's a running joke. For context,
are they touching?
Yes.
Okay.
She eats them together. Yeah. Okay. For context, in our MOTW campaign, it became a running joke that people just drank vinegar as a casual thing. And Zen, who was played by someone else, I actually kind of just stole the character from my friend, drank not just whiskey, but acetic whiskey. So it was like vinegar whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a distinct smell that comes from this dish. And even the waitress, or the person at the counter who puts this together, will kind of wrinkle her nose at you and just go, "Are you sure about this? You absolutely
no,
sure?"
You're right. I should get some hot fudge on top.
Oh yes. My God.
I think it would. I really think it would help and cut through like the acidity. It might actually make the sweetness come out and really give a wonderful flavor burst for every bite that you take of this.
Yeah, let's go for some hot fudge.
Yeah. So I mean, like, the woman behind the counter will like pull out and it's truly hot fudge. Like, she has this decanter that was on like a heating pad of some sort, and then she will slowly pour the hot fudge. Like, first she'll bring the decanter close to it and then lift it up, so it's like making an interesting swirl, and then like you can see it. It's like a sensual experience that you're watching. And she
feels oddly violated for some reason.
Yeah, ASMR for the eyes.
And so, I mean, like, while I'm thinking about the ice cream flavor, like, well, when Reggie steps into this place, She usually has a similar feeling that Ronnie has, although they have not discussed it together about what happens. Um, when she steps into Late Night Kate's onto one of the black and white tiles, she will, instead of feeling like she's dropping, like her stomach's dropping, it'll feel like her stomach has taken a leap and has not come down since. Like, so it feels like her stomach's uplifted and ready for, whatever flavor concoction that she decides is fun for the day, and then she will order that. But yeah, the feeling is like levitating, in when she steps into Late Night Kate's. So I have to think about the flavor. So you two go ahead with the other things.
So when Sage steps in, there is something that makes Sage feel a tiny bit scared, like almost like a nagging feeling at the bottom of not the bottom, back of their head, which is just like they're not quite sure what they're scared of, but there's something that's like it's almost like they're scared of something being discovered, but they don't quite know what, because they live a very sort of, how do I put this? A very sort of strict, in some sense, in their own way, life. So like they get the feeling that someone's gonna call them out or something, on like a child, like, oh, you didn't do your homework, kind of thing, like something like that.
How dare you go to an ice cream parlor?
Maybe something like that, actually. But because Sage is here, they're going to get a big, like, sort of bowl of a little bit of more or less every flavor they can catch, except weird things like vinegar and whiskey. Basically nothing alcoholic, nothing too crazy, but a mixture of all the standard flavors topped off with maybe like boba or something.
With what?
Boba.
Oh,
Boba,
okay, gotcha.
like tea.
Got it.
You you got enough ice cream there, buddy?
So what happens with your essentially flavor sampler? I mean, like we'll say that Late Night Kate's has like a tiny little scoop, and that's what they're doing. They're like doing a tiny little scoop of every ice cream that they have available that evening for you on this plate. And the way it's placed is it creates this scene. So they're placing each little scoop to create a scene in ice cream of something that you're very familiar with and that comforts you. What does this scene look like?
I would just go simple and say it looks like basically my bedroom, where I probably have like a shrine or something in the corner. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it probably like looks like focusing on the shrine, but generally my bedroom.
Yeah. And the boba's like the little decorative accents. So that's what you see on this wonderful platter of ice cream. And I will say that Reggie's flavor, if you can imagine a food video, like a very like all the tastes and textures that make up a food video, that make you want to watch and learn how to make it, and then when you make it, you're gonna eat it. I mean, that's all the sensations that Reggie will feel when she gets this concoction, which is a platter almost as big as Sage's, but it's like a combination coffee and cream ice cream, but done very, very, very like visually and sensually appealing. Yes, latte art with like like the foamy and the soft and the hard and the textures of like a crunch or a savory. I mean, like like visually appealing, and then like she knows that once she bites into this, that it's going to have all of those different tastes and textures in it as well. And it's almost set up as a stage set, a tiny little stage set
of the night.
Yeah. So she is going to dig in, and this place is like of no booths. It's like of all spindly tables and spindly chairs that fit 2 to 4 people at each one. And there's no corners that are darkened or shadowed. When you enter into this place, it's all like walls and windows, and just the counter of the smiling clerks wearing their bright polos, and the music is just right. The lighting is amazing and natural, and we're sitting there enjoying our ice cream.
So the thing that gives Zen pause, I forgot to answer that.
Mm-hmm.
So she feels conflicted about this because on one hand, there are no shadows, so there's no good place for her to like hide. However, because there's no booths, she can usually, if she moves her seat just right, she can actually view the entire area from where she's sitting, which is pretty nice. She likes keeping everything in her sight.
And so endeth our game of Paranormal Incorporated. So, stars and wishes. I'll start.
Wish I had remembered the role. Theorize Move.
You know what? I mean, I thought it was more exciting. Actually, I really did think it was more exciting that the way we did it, because you know, it's like it's one thing to just like, oh, we succeeded. Okay, great, we're done. You know, versus a complete miss, which is like, oh my god.
Yeah, I also wish I had remembered to use my clue rewrite for mystery, because we did have one spare clue and we could have just worked it in, but yeah.
Oh yeah, shoot, that's true. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, I forgot my moves too, because I was just like so involved in like what we were doing that I was just like, okay, let's see how the fiction plays out, and if it works, it works, and sometimes it doesn't. You know, I mean, like you just role play and then just.
Oh yeah. None of us did conditions.
Yeah,
we did not do conditions at all.
Yeah, because I mean, like oh shit. Well, I gotta get better at that, because I'm gonna be running a campaign at the Between soon. I gotta like condition them like crazy. Shoot. No, I mean, because Sage could have had a condition for, like, you know, having that box thing. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean, even falling
startled.
behind, startled, shaken, whatever. Totally forgot. Gotta get better at that. Shoot. Yeah. So that's a wish. Yeah, that's a wish. But it is.
Stars,
really
I had a lot of fun. There was a lot of bullshit, which was amazing. Like, there was a lot of random things which I genuinely enjoyed a lot, and I was not expecting to because when we play Between, we don't usually do that kind of stuff. So again, it's nice to have like a more chill, casual kind of setting. I also had fun. I mean, I love the Zen Sage dynamic. It's amazing. I hate it and I love it, and it's causing Reggie so much pain all the time permanently. And yeah, it is great.
Definitely stars for that dynamic, man. Like the dynamic all three of them have, where Reggie's like, oh, maybe I can trust them alone this time, and no, she could not.
No, you cannot. And then, like, I love that Reggie, like, as the Brawler, like, she physically gets between them, and that just works, at least temporarily. Like,
yeah, I'm pretty sure Reggie is taller than at least Zen, so Zen can't argue over her head with Sage.
Yeah. She's taller than Sage as well. Sage is not a very large person, right? So,
yeah, I think if anybody looked at us, like, you know, as a group, then basically they would see, like Zen or like Sage kind of be like the front person maybe, and then Zen like kind of lurking behind, but then Reggie is towering over them both, because it's like, you know, she's like kind of partially bodyguard, partially like kindergarten teacher trying to herd them around. You know, so I mean, like, you know, Reggie's not the intern, but she's still kind of being like the cohesive part.
Yeah, the glue of the group, as it were.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean, like, you know, because if she has to, she will pick you both up and then, like, you know, carry you.
Yeah.
Rebel.
Like, I was pretty sure there was a point where she was just gonna like grab us both by our wrists and just move.
Oh.
Like, yeah.
If need be, well, like, we would totally do that, you know. So that would have been so much fun.
Oh my god. If you did that, Zen would like try to stab you. That's
Well, of course, but I expect that, because it's kind of like part of the goofiness of this, because I
Yeah.
mean, like
Yeah.
I love the fact that we can be zany a little bit with this game, and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it doesn't
yeah.
have to be like dead serious all the freaking time.
Yeah.
And that's why I love including these little bits that are outside of gameplay, because it's like, I just feel like it's fun to just have something running, like a running joke if need be. So I mean, like, if you do want to do this again, like we have to find time to try to, do
I
some.
mean, I need to see how Sage and Astrea interact because
Oh boy.
Sage and Zen do not get along because they're just diametrically opposite people.
Yes.
But I feel like Sage and Astrea's sensibilities would clash so much.
Oh my god. I don't know. I mean, and then you put Patty in the mix. Patty might get along with Sage fine,
Actually,
because
yeah.
of being a skeptic. But I mean, yeah, I mean, oh my god. I can't even. And then
To be fair, Sage is not the kind of person who, like, Sage is very much my way or the highway, like, very much I am right and this is the right way to do things and to do hauntings.
Sage is very stubborn.
Oh, we're not going to get along with Ronnie at all. Ronnie's like, like very behind the scenes, but I mean, like, Ronnie has their own way of doing things. So it's like, I don't think that's going to work.
It's going to be entertaining.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, that's partially why people like would be interested, I would hope, because it's like it's not dull at all.
Oh yeah.
Oh, stars.
Yes, stars. We're like trying to do stars here.
Yes, stars. I love. No, I just thought of this. I just got reminded. I love the way Kavya played Zen because, or well, more precisely, Kavya played the Reformed, to put that like a little bit more in this thing, because so I was thinking very like, basically think the rogue class from D&D more or less. Like that was my initial inspiration to go for this. So it is nice to have this. I mean, Kavya very much played into it, but also gave the person their own personality. And like honestly, same with the Brawler. Like, like obviously we have the Brawler be a certain archetype, but also like having them be like an influencer and also surprisingly the glue of the group is a really nice way to like sort of round that out. I
Subversion is
love
great.
it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, star for the fact that I love playing characters that are just pieces of shit in some way or the other. like Astrea was just a pain, very high maintenance, a pain. So much fun to play. And Zen is fun to play because Zen's usual answer to something is to threaten it or stab it.
Yes.
Or choke it.
Yes.
So
yes.
yeah.
Yes.
It's great.
Yeah.
Spoiled for choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, definite stars for you.
Kavya is such a joy to DM at all points.
It's so nice when your GM compliments you.
I mean, it's like, you do Chaos Agent like I do a little bit, I think. Well, my Chaos Agent is a completely different animal, as Kavya well knows from Americana. And how the hell did she get to be the brains of the group? I have no freaking clue. Jesus H, man. It's like, do you really want an artist, dancer, assassin to be to do the lead on this crap? I don't
get that. To be fair, we're all out of our depths. And like the assassin is kind of used to adapting, so it makes sense that she'd kind of take the forefront.
True. I mean, but I mean, like, really. It just looks like...
you can't expect Arabella to do it. Her rules don't apply here.
That's true. That's very true. But I mean, like, she was rolling with it with a lot more aplomb than Journey was. So I mean, it was just we're talking about our Americana characters.
No, I know. I've heard about it.
And it was just bazonkers, and it's like this is bazonkers in its own way, which I love, because again, we have a chance to be goofy and zany and be these characters that are fun and interesting. I regret, in a way, I wish that I had rolled badly at least once, because I wanted to do a personal haunting, but I was shocked that I kept on getting good rolls. Like, what the hell is this? This never happens.
See, there has to be one person in the group who gets good rolls, and it wasn't going to be me, and apparently I passed the curse on to Eirinar, so...
Oh my god, I was just like...
Usually it's me. Usually I'm one of the good rolling people. It's Kavya had her eyes on me today, and then she just hits me. That's what happened.
Kavya is done with rolling badly. Kavya has been rolling badly for too long. I really wanted to use this paranormal event because I wanted to see how we did it, and it was the one for Reggie's area, and it was for 1 minute everyone sings operatically instead of talking.
I would have totally done that. That I could have
loved
done.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was waiting to do it, and then I just didn't get a chance to introduce it.
Oh,
I loved the Shakespeare one, by the way. That was really nice. I loved the Shakespeare one. That was so fun.
Maz, you did so
I had
good with that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you did. I had to pull up a Shakespeare translator thingy.
I should have done that.
Oh my god, I hate
Damn
you.
it.
I was mentally just going like, okay, act Shakespeare.
Oh my god, no! I was like, well, yeah. I mean, like I could have done that too, but I mean, I totally forgot that you could do that. Shit. Okay. Yeah. Next time.
And I couldn't say lord or lady, so I was like, prithee creature. That's why I said creature. I'm like, I can't say lord or lady.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh, I love torturing you like that.
And actually, well, there's
Zen
like
would have said it.
Yeah, there's like Elizabethan slurs. Unfortunately, it's like but you could have just as easily. I hate to say it, but you could have just as easily used any kind of weird ass quotes from like Monty Python and the Holy Grail, and you probably still would have been close.
Oh god.
Seriously, your mother was a hamster and your father smells of elderberry or whatever the hell it was. You probably could have done that in a British accent and you've been fine. Damn it, forgot to do that. Anyway. So stars again for everybody, like, playing their characters to a hilt. I mean, I really did enjoy it. Like, from a player perspective, I mean, like, being the character that had to intersperse themselves bodily between you two to kind of cut off any, extended weirdness. It's how I feel about the big chicken versus Peter on Family Guy. Like, sometimes those fights go way too long. And I'm just like, just stop, okay? Like, cut it off at the seams, go on to the next bit before we completely lose ourselves in this silly chicken fight. So that's what it felt like sometimes. So that's why it's like Reggie had to be like totally the character that had to push them through.
Yeah, no, Sage and Zen would have just argued until the end of the world.
Yeah, that makes sense, and that's why it was like it kind of was needed cinematically to make sure the story kept moving. So that was fine. I mean, I'm again, wish would have been to have at least one personal haunting being able to be done by Reggie, because I think the Brawler ones are really fun. And then I
so much fun naming those.
I wish I had a chance to really use one of my moves, but I mean, it was just like, okay, not yet.
The RP got too deep.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. And like just the opportunity to see how we did as playing together. I think that was a star for me, because I mean, like, I think regardless of the character fighting, I mean, I think it worked out really well. Excuse me.
Yeah, I think we got a good thing going.
Yeah, it's like so it's a good rhythm going, and I was happy to introduce another one of the Revis family, who's distantly related to the Frosts. So we're keeping this
in the family,
the distant relation family going.
Lovely.
Yeah, so that's that's what I'm going to continue to do. And stars for playing the character. I mean, like, I know you say that like Zen's a shit, but I mean, in a weird way, an adorable shit. I mean, just because it's like, I expect this. It's a very character.
I did tone Zen down a little from the original Zen, who
Eirinar remembers. You changed a bit of their sort of motivations and things like that.
Yeah, I had to, man. So the original Zen was the flake, and
from MOTW, and they were very
skeptical all the time.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, the sarcasm, the sarcastic one, for sure. Yeah. I'm
so happy I got to play them, because so Zen ended up in a relationship with my character, and I'm so glad I get to see the other side of what that existing as.
Oh, I'm so cute.
Yeah. I'm so glad I don't have to GM it.
No, we GM each other. This is great. So I hope you guys.
I'm so glad. Yeah, I love that. That is so much less stressful.
For sure. Absolutely.
And it was really fun. I genuinely enjoyed. I also liked that we all kind of work together on the Theorize Move a lot, because I think, at least in between when we do this, when we do answer a question, often I think, at least in our group, one person ends up, kind of coming up with it, and the other people don't contribute as much necessarily. So I
So right
actually
now we
like
have 2
it.
players. I'm constantly running the game with 2 players, which is Eirinar and another friend of ours.
Right. But I think also too, I mean, I'm going to run into that when I start my campaign of the Between later this month, because it's only going to start with 2 players because that's when they can start, and then the other 2 players will be kind of coming in as they're available through the summer. And I mean, it's just going to happen, right? I mean, like, you're always going to have like at least one player making the full suggestion on what they think the Theorize Move is. And then maybe the other players will be able to pitch in how they think the other clues will fit their theory. I mean, it's very seldom that I feel that, like, you know, you have a fully collaborative group being able to bring everything together in the Theorize Move for all the clues. But
I enjoyed what we had today. Like, it was relatively collaborative, so it wasn't, you know, one person 100% kind of thing. So I liked it.
Also, I'm just now realizing that if we wanted a perfect on the Theorize, we could have just used Handbook of the Recently Deceased.
Oh shit!
I keep forgetting. We forgot conditions.
We never remember. This. I mean, because I should say, like, one person brought it up in our very first game of Paranormal Incorporated with my core group, and then like I think maybe it was mentioned another time, but I don't think we used it any other time since. It's weird. I don't know why.
Everyone forgets all the time.
We totally do. I don't know why. So,
I wish I could move the moves like in the Trophy Keeper where it's just stuck to the side, so you just see the moves there all the time.
Sure. Well, you probably can. The problem is,
I know how to do it. I just don't want to do it. I've already done it for the Absurdia Keeper. It's just I don't want to do it.
Right. Yeah.
Is it really hard? Because I mean, like, you know.
No. You just you add the row, and there's this thing that lets you freeze the frames, so they just stick.
Okay. Well,
I mean, it's very simple.
If you tell me how to do it, I'm not now, but I mean, like, tell me later how to do it. It's like I'm glad to learn, and then like try to plug that in, because I got to do it for my own character keepers as well. I mean, it seems like a very handy thing to do. So.
Yeah, I initially had moves on a separate tab, but then I was like, I have base moves, but then I also have faction moves. Why not just put it all in one place? So now I just have a column.
That's beautiful. I like that. I like that idea very much. So yeah, again, stars for everybody's role play. I think we did very well for all that. You know, all the nonsense, all the zaniness. And I think we utilized everything like really well this time. So like it was a good combination of like the location and not only paranormal events happening like as we were going along,
but real complications as well.
Real complications with the NPCs and the clues, you know, figuring out kind of like not just finding them, but like, you know, really trying to make them work within that particular situation. And I really had fun. I mean, like, I hope you two did as well. And
I did.
I mean, my wish, of course, is again like wishing to have done at least one personal haunting, and then to be able to use my moves. But I mean, again, it's like if it fits, it fits, and if it doesn't, it won't sit. You know, like that sort of thing. So, yeah, you know, we had a good session today. I think. Thank you very much. Stars all around. So, wish to do this again. Like maybe, if not this, then you know, obviously we're going to be working on the 2-shot for the next 2 Sundays. For playtesting. I look forward to playing with you again, Eirinar. And then, like, Kavya, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yep. See you tomorrow.
Have a great day, evening, whatever.
Night.
Night. It is 9 p.m.
Oh, God.
Bye-bye.
All right, see ya.